All right. And we are live. The last word, LordCognito, Ebontis, Ty Guy, Travis, fresh on that Thursday evening campfire 2023 for me edition. What's going on, E? The cheetah. How you doing, sir? How you been?
Doing good. Been enjoying Destiny's been keeping me busy, enjoying New Year's, which was pretty chill. But overall just kind of trying to get back into cooking a little bit at home, working out a little
Oh,
bit, playing a couple
Chef E back.
games.
Oh, Chef E's
Yeah,
back.
always
Okay.
enjoy cooking. I always enjoy
Nice.
that actually. We were trying kind of like an ingredient delivery service. I don't want like pre-prepared meals, but it's like they're trying to give you some where it's here's the ingredients and just a way to you have anybody who cooks enough, you kind of get into like a rut sometimes of stuff that you make at home, even if it's like some of it's actually kind of cool, but you do get in a rut. And I was like, even if this service is not like the long be all end all, at least it'll give us ideas so then we can go and make other recipes and have stuff like that. So just trying to get back into that. But yeah, just kind of enjoyed the holiday break a little bit here and there. It was actually pretty chill. Mine was mostly at home.
Nice.
And yeah, Travis, what about you, man? Do you enjoy your catching up on all your games? You play every game in like 1 week?
Yeah, how many games
Pretty
you reviewed?
much. I didn't review any games, so I think right where you logged off for the year, I had finished my last review for the year, which was High on Life.
Mhm.
And then I
What did
had
we
a
give
2
that? What did we give that?
an 8. We gave it an 8, which I think is a good score for it. The at the time I was trying to do more reviews, but I was reminded very politely by the staff at IGN that if I did additional reviews, they would also have to work because
You were
cool. Yeah, they're like, well, if you do the reviews, then we have to have editors here and video people, and we have to have our staff. And I was like, that's a good point. I can't just do reviews myself. Wow, life is bad. So I wasn't allowed to do any additional IGN work. I just did my 0 articles.
You must take vacation.
Yes.
They waited. Yeah. So I spent that 2 weeks taking care of some personal stuff. I got that video edited that you guys know about that I've been working on for a while. I did some other stuff, some writing and whatnot, made some New Year's resolutions. Everybody's got to do that. And,
Nice.
and then they waited no time at all, January 2nd, to start loading me up with reviews and previews. So here we are in the new year. I'm back at it. I've got a preview that I don't think I can actually talk about. Unfortunately, I really want to, but I'll have more information probably next week or the week after. And then my first review this year is a SpongeBob SquarePants game.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
The platformer SpongeBob game. That's what I'm working on.
I just can picture SpongeBob like face planting and just like just the sound effects would be perfect.
There's a lot to go with that world, but I watched a lot of SpongeBob as a kid, so I can talk about it, right? Why not? Should be fun. So yeah, that's me working my tail off, and it's been a weird week.
Yeah,
Cog, as you know,
just a few things going on.
It's been a weird week.
A lot going on.
A lot going on in the world. All I'd say is, guys, stay healthy, exercise. Don't sit as many hours in the day as maybe you currently do, and yeah, thoughts go out to my boy Hogue.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Good transition. Because that was me, man. First much needed time off. 2022 was fun. It was busy, a lot of personal success, but I did not take care of myself at the end. So I needed to just disconnect completely, which is rare for me because I usually sneak and still podcast and still see what's going on.
Guests everywhere.
Yeah. So I had to shut down. So it was good. And then like Travis said, shout out to Hogue, man. That put things in perspective for me because I think we're kind of in similar situations. Including Trav, like complete full-time gigs that take up a lot of our time, multiple things pulling us in different directions. And when I heard that news, that kind of gave me some pause and say, you know what, I need to fix some things. So as these two know, I went and checked myself in because I had some nagging issues, got that taken care of. And I'm feeling better. I'm rested. I'm rejuvenated. I'm playing a lot of Destiny. You know what I mean? Nice. So we got a lot to talk about. I know I missed a lot of things. I want to see Travis' reactions on certain storyline beats. And that's back in the week. And then we got our cool guest returning.
Indeed.
We'll
get him in here. So welcome.
We get him in. Oh, okay.
So the last word, episode number 231, and our first episode of 2023, the year of Lightfall. Brackus Forge has a new twist on Iron Banner. Rasputin working on becoming whole. And the TWAB will be back next week, sadly, but we still got plenty to talk about. Season of the Seraph has been fairly well received thus far, and who better discuss this final season of Year 5 than our guest tonight? Someone who has joined us for the first time back in episode 51, has nearly 90,000 subscribers on YouTube, where you'll find him streaming quite often. He's in the home stretch of his PhD in polymer chemistry, knows that Cabal drop huts can find you even in the Crucible now, fellow Advanced UG aficionado, the mother of all chickens, and one of the last few Triumph completionists. The one and only Skarrow9. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. That was really awesome. I am curious, do you guys have like a running tally of like your most reoccurring guests?
You're up there.
You're up there.
I think this is four.
He might be.
This is 4. I counted for you.
Okay.
Because you were on the group.
Teddy has been on more.
Yeah, it's like Teddy is probably the only one who's got you
Yogi.
beat, actually. I would think. Teddy is probably the only one.
Teddy for sure.
We'll
This
see you
is
back
like-
next week. All right. No.
Yes, that's right. I have to. I'm the last word completionist now, so
There
I
you
got to
go.
get all the
All the
triumphs.
triumphs, yeah. How you been, man?
Yeah, I've been busy, but just vibing, Destiny, PhD stuff like you mentioned, and started like formatting and writing my dissertation this week. So I'm like, it's dissertations are weird because in STEM most of them are like papers you publish. So like I have 2 of my 3 chapters already published. We're working on the 3rd and final chapter. So really just formatting with ridiculous rules and bullshit. But we're past the first 30 seconds. I don't care.
It's been 30 seconds. You're probably safe by now. Yeah, you're good.
But it's just just ready. This chapter of my life is very quickly coming to a close, and which is crazy because you guys have been here with me since I've been in grad school 4.5 years. So we met like right after I joined.
That's true.
So it's like it's exciting.
So I gotta ask, how we've seen like 6,000 word TWABs and whatever. Do you have any idea how many words your dissertation might end up being close to?
So
Ballpark,
that's a really good question. I think right now it's about. So I am 1 chapter in about half of the intro, and it is 90 pages. So it'll probably end up being, but those are double spaced. It's really dumb how they do it, and every figure has to be its own page. I wish I had my laptop because I checked. I think I'm at like 40,000 right now. If you count both of my articles I already have, so it'll probably be 60 somewhere in there if I had to guess, not including obviously like references and SI and all the fluff. So I'll get you a more complete number on your return. in a couple of months. So it's coming up really quickly. So we'll see.
I'm just curious, trying to put a reference in people's minds how long a dissertation actually is, because
they're they seem a lot longer than they are because of, like I said, the silly formatting nonsense. But they're long, right? Like it is 4.5-5 years worth of work put into a single document. So they're they're supposed to be pretty comprehensive. So
put it in a word count I can understand. How many IGN reviews?
Okay.
You got to know an average IGN review.
Yeah, this is I don't know IGN reviews. I'll give you Paul Tassi articles, and I'll say about I'd say 400 Paul Tassi articles.
400 Paul Tassi articles. So that's like 2 IGN reviews, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boom! Gotcha, Paul. Maybe come up with more content before you hit publish, boy.
Put some respect on his name.
Oh man.
Got him.
Oh man.
Skarrow to be back in the building, man. So you've been playing a lot in the mix. I've been seeing the Twitter. You know what I'm saying? How you feeling? What's the vibe of the season? How you doing?
I mean, this season's hot. I think people all around are kind of still in the kind of divot of Destiny coming off of last season, the last 2 seasons really. But I think if Season of the Seraph were to release instead of like Splicer, like if you go back into that hit period of Destiny, I think it would have been received almost identically. Like it's really good. I like Season of the Splicer quite a bit. I think there's obviously a lot of issues with maybe the core game and I'd say even communication issues at this point because Bungie's been kind of quiet. But in terms of content we're getting, like Season of Splicer is undoubtedly the best season we've gotten this year in my it's not.
You mean Seraph?
Seraph, what did I say? Splicer?
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
All right, sorry, I got that on my brain. Yeah, Season of the Seraph is easily the best season of year 5 or the Witch Queen year, and it's just...
Now you do have some weird raid choices, so I got to ask you, what was your second favorite season?
Risen.
Of all time.
Of all time, or of this year?
Let's do all time, because right now the talk in the Destiny streets is Seraph is the GOAT right now. Like Seraph.
Nah, I don't think it's the best.
Ooh, I knew I had to ask you. We gonna fight. I want to hear this.
I don't even know.
I mean, it's pretty hard to say. Like, I mean, oh man. Okay, so I have a hot take when it comes to this sort of thing. And
okay, do you do seasons 5, 6, and 7? Or do you do 8 onward, like Bungie has it on the website? Because if you get into like Forge, that's a different set of development.
It's all a different set of rules. And then also, I personally take season as all content that came out in that time period. I think it's very hard. If I were to say like season of when King's Fall, when the heck did that come out? I guess last season, Season of Plunder. You know, I think for me at least, it's very hard to decouple how I feel independently about King's Fall versus you know, the season itself. And even though they're technically separate pieces of content, I think they tie very closely into each other. You know, the abilities you get in one plays into it, the loot you get in the other plays into it. And so I think it's really hard to effectively decouple those things. So when I'm talking about season, I'm talking about, you know, period of time. So if we're counting the Activision seasons, I mean, it would have to be season of the Outlaw, which is Forsaken.
Okay.
Yeah, so Forsaken, because you got, you know, raid, dungeon, all crazy stuff. People don't really count season of the Outlaw. People,
that's a good point. That's actually a good point.
So it's hard to say. If we're talking about like traditional seasons, it would have to be Penumbra, and if we're talking about Season of Opulence, sorry. And if we're talking about non-Activision seasons, then my favorite season, that's freaking hard, is oh shoot, it might be Dawn. I really like Dawn.
I like Dawn too. Dawn's good.
There wasn't a lot of end game content in Dawn though, right?
True.
So that's Dawn.
Chosen has to be near the top as well, I think.
Yeah, I like Chosen.
Like the turning point for the narrative is crucial, because that's when I really feel Caiatl got introduced and stuff like that. Like Season of the Hunt was with Hunt would have been with Beyond Light, if I remember correctly.
Ducky's stupid. He said his favorite is Season of the Redacted.
One day, look, I made this. I said this on Twitter a couple of months ago, but one day Bungie is going to name a Season of the Redacted, and it is I'm either going to think it's the cringiest thing they've ever done or the funniest thing they've ever done, and there will be no in between. And it just completely is just random. It's like how I'm feeling that day, you know. So it's hard to say, because like, you know, if you look at the time frame period, like Risen, right? Because it has all of Witch Queen in it, but it's hard. It's like how do you set these?
It's hard to take everything apart.
Especially the ones that launch at the start of an with the expansion, right? Yeah, I hear what you're saying. So
it's hard, but if we're, you know, in the most traditional sense, Seraph is definitely up there. It's really
it's up there. It's up there.
What is Seraph?
It's I would say by the metrics that people typically use, which are not the metrics I use, Seraph is probably like top 3. You know, it's definitely up there. So
I think it's flirting with top 3, because I mean, for me, Chosen, you've got the Glycon mission, you've got the narrative turn, you've got Caiatl, you've got a new strike that comes in.
Wait, Chosen was Osiris?
No, that was Law. Wait,
which one was Osiris?
No, the Splicer was when he started being really sus.
Yeah, he was sus and Splicer.
Over the roof.
That's when that's when Future War Cult died, right? That's when all the that was in Splicer.
Season.
For favorite activity though, I know we've got a couple good ones, but man, I will say the Shattered Realm in Season of the Lost.
No one ever says that, but yes, Shattered Realm is the best.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
Every time I say that, people give me shit. But it's like,
which one? Help me remind. Which one was
that's the one that had you'd like come in, and it would, depending on the week, you would either be going Scorn,
the Metroidvania.
5. Yeah, it was the Metroidvania with like the 6 weeks.
Yeah, it was just like a ton of secret hunts. It was
good.
Yeah. It was what they did that season instead of like a weekly story. And it was way better than like a, you know, Chosen
really
or
good.
than like a haunted style story thing. It was so good. There were secrets every week. It expanded on it. It was really interesting. Combat was pretty good for what it was. Like
The one,
know?
the Scorn one was rough when you were like, if you wanted to solo the Scorn one with the, especially on the higher difficulty with the champions and all the little bouncing arc things. God, that was hell.
Oh, and then the spider tank that slows you at the end.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, I remember that. Yes. Was that the one? Did Aegis Scepter?
Yep,
debut?
Aegis Scepter. Yeah.
That's my favorite. One of my favorite.
Yeah, it's
okay,
a
that was a
weapon.
strong one. Yeah, that was a strong one.
Yeah, Season of the Lost, I think, is. Oh, and this is another thing I was.
That's the delay and the 30th.
Yeah,
and so it's like
Season of the Lost was like 3-4 months longer than a normal season because of the delay.
Right.
And so if you count, Season of the Lost in terms of what it was supposed to be until the launch of the 30th anniversary, do we then count the 30th anniversary as its own mini season? Because it was only a couple months long. It was very strong.
Yeah.
So it's I feel like
it
you
is
can
tough
do
to rank.
a lot of gray areas that no one ever really talks about.
Yeah.
So
well, I'm glad I got a fan of the Shattered Realm because
they're so good. My favorite things about seasons are when Bungie does weird things. Like when they do. I think the biggest problem with the seasonal model is not how they release content; it's the stagnation of content. They release the same type of content over and over again.
Yeah.
And so when they do things like Shattered Realm, I'm a big fan of the attempt, at least, to bring the Leviathan back as a patrol zone. I think it was really hurt by Nightmare Containment being the worst seasonal activity of all time.
Season of the Worthy. Season of the Worthy takes that cake.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Right.
But it's like
Season of the Worthy. Was that the
That's
throwing the
yeah.
balls?
no, the Seraph Towers public
That's
event.
the Seraph Tower public event.
Yeah,
That one was real bad. And also Expeditions.
Didn't that
from
also
last season.
not have matchmatching as well, or did it?
It was just
it was public spaces, so
Yeah,
it was
public
hit or
space.
miss on if people were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just the
Terrible.
balls of the tower. Yeah.
But it was like I love when Bungie does. I love when Bungie does more weird stuff, and I feel like it can be either very hit or very miss with it. But I mean, Shattered Realm was a hit all the way, in my opinion. It was so good.
It's like I would love to have because we were lucky enough to talk to Tom Farnsworth for Season of the Haunted. Well, I would be real quick. I do want to shout out TP Hayden, $20 super chat.
Wow.
Happy New Year, boys! Thank you for all you do. Love you guys. Same back to all of you guys in chat, whether you're from Skarrow's or ours or anybody's. Thank you guys for hanging with us. But I would love to ask. I know Farnsworth, he's big enough, so it's like he kind of gets the big picture. But like this season, Lost, specifically those two, the scale of the activity they made. Like, I'm still wondering if this exotic quest is gone in like 6 weeks. And it probably is.
It probably is, and that's real painful.
Yeah,
because
like,
Seraph, it is a fantastic mission. It is.
And then the same thing. Shattered Realm was this like huge three section thing that you go through and build up, and then gone. And it's like they get one season to live, and sometimes it's like the best activities. I'm going, why is this not like an all year thing? I would love to go back to that and get some of those random, season of the risen things if I'm going for armor grinding because that's still the best armor. But anyway,
yeah.
Trav, what's your favorite seasons? I'm curious.
Yeah.
Favorite seasons?
Yeah. What's your standouts?
The Witch Queen.
Yeah.
The season.
I mean,
a season of Risen.
Season of the
Season of the. I didn't play the season, and I just played the campaign content.
I see.
I just don't really like seasons, man. The seasonal content bums me out pretty much across the board.
I mean, have you done like Seraph Shield and stuff?
I like the Caiatl one.
Okay.
What was
Chosen?
that season?
Season of Chosen.
Chosen, yeah.
Season of the Chosen. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, this season's pretty good. I wouldn't put it. Yeah, I mean, doing the Seraph Shield thing, it's kind of got that Metroidvania vibe. This is definitely up there, but I would say probably my favorites are. I guess I should say this. My main problem with the season is I really don't like the activity that you have to do every single week, 2 to 3 times or whatever. That's like the part that like you could put the best one up there, Menagerie, with the worst one, and I'd be like, I don't want to do either of them. Like equally, I don't want to do them. You know what I mean? Like they kind of just bother me. But the things that stand out for me are the weapons, obviously. If they did anything with Crucible in that season, if they, if the story was good, which they're kind of hit or miss with the story, I think so. Yeah. In terms of activities, though, there's not really any I can get super excited about. I'm just sort of like,
Mhm.
we all know what this is going to be. They're going to ask me to upgrade 31 perks on a board, and I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to I'm going to get to like 7, and then I'm going to be like, cool, I'm done, dude. That's as much as I want to play. So I've actually tried to upgrade those upgrade grids a couple seasons, and I think the closest I've got is I got like maybe 2 full, rows done.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, I looked at the other stuff I would have had to do to get the other ones, and I was just like, I don't care enough. I'm not gonna do it.
Hey, they give you the 3rd row for free this season.
Yeah.
So this might be your season.
All you gotta do is just show up
the
a
one that
couple
only has
times.
3 perks.
Yeah, you get all 3 of those for free, and then there's just 2 rows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I looked at the 1st and 2nd row, and I was like, I think I'll do 1 row. I was like, I think I'll do row 2. Row 1, all re-rolling armor and stuff. I was like, I don't really care about that. I'll do row 2. So
no doubt. No, I've enjoyed it. I've been enjoying it a lot. It's hard for me to rank. I mean, yeah, Opulence was up there for me. It was the one that had the Metrovania. What was that season of the?
That's Lost.
Lost.
Yeah,
that was the lead up prior to. I'm assuming to
lead up to Witch Queen.
Yep.
That was good. That was
a really good season.
That was the weekly Savathun talks in the Crystal. I like that narratively. I like Season of Dawn. Yeah, Season of Dawn.
Of course you do. Yeah,
of course. I mean, I'm biased, but no, to be honest, I mean, Saint 14 was the star of the show, and I'm team Osiris.
Saint Osiris and the Sundial and the loot. Like,
I was almost a Titan at that moment. I was going to betray the Warlock relic. I was like, man, it's Saint 14. When he came out, the way they introduced him, and I love the voice actor. He always makes me laugh.
Oh, he's hilarious.
He's absolutely hilarious. So yeah, that was great. But I ain't gonna front, man. I may recency bias, but Season of the Seraph really got me, man. Like, I know when I like it, because I suffer from the same thing Travis suffers. So when you have me do the repeatable seasonal playlist activity, sometimes that really wears me out. But I'm enjoying this one, and I'm like, why am I? And it's because of that mini contest mode, scaling difficulty, because it gives tension. It puts me. I can't just mindlessly do it without, really setting the expectations. So I love that. As y'all know, Cox, I'm a huge fan of good loot.
Yeah.
And the loot this year, bro. Like that disparity. I'm working on some roles with that. I got a crazy stasis build with that. Anything Volt shot, I'm loving. I'm loving the linear. It's really good. And then obviously, listen, I'm a huge fan of an exotic mission. It's been so long since we had that. And Revision Zero surprising me. They basically quest-wise implemented crafting. But the story's so good. And then we got to give credit to the narrative team. I went in on them on Season of the Plunder. I did not like Season of the Plunder outside of the ending. Of course, my man came back. But for the most part, I just felt that was the rare miss from the narrative team that has usually been on fire most of the time. But this story, and now I guess we're going to catch up.
Yeah, I was going to say, we kind of didn't really touch too much on the story last week. You were gone the week before that, so like 3 through 5. Yeah. And obviously the big one was last week. Story. So take us in, Cog. Where are you at on this thing?
So first I wanted to see how they was going to go with it. Obviously, prior to me leaving, huge fan of Clovis. And we discussed this, and I was checking on my boy Trav. I wanted to see how he was doing because, I didn't see this coming so early. And to me, in my mind, Clovis was going to be around to really antagonize us each week, and then maybe get like this, the ooga booga moment, and then we figure him out, and then we resolve. So to see Travis's man deleted, I was like, oh my god, what's going on? So I'm a huge fan of Clovis, so it did throw me off a little bit. So now I'm worried, but in a good way, because we've got the resolution way too soon, so to speak. And I'm curious to see, okay, where's this going? I'm biased, of course, but I love Osiris's fatherly role with Anna. Anna has really risen for me right now. And I'm also looking at the point now, like, I don't know about Crow as the Hunter Vanguard. Anna's really impressing me with certain decision-making and things that she's doing. Love that Elsie's back. And the key thing I got to say is the callbacks to the Iron Lords and Rise of Iron DLC has really touched me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of my favorite expansions. You know, I'm mad we didn't get. I thought I had VIP access to the peak. And, you know, they're not letting me in the door anymore. I don't know what happened with that. But I thought I was the young wolf. I thought I did that. But you know, and we can't climb the top. But it was good to be back. And then to see the Rasputin, the way they did that, I thought it was pretty cool. Look, they did a good job. They've been on fire. I'm curious to see how this whole thing plays out with the war sats and everything. But yeah, it's been phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. There's really not much I don't like about this season. Like it's a complete season so far. I'm just curious to see how they wrap it up. That's gonna determine where I rank it. But I'm curious where Skarrow and you guys are, how this whole thing played out for you guys.
Yeah, I like it too. Oh man,
Get negative Nancy out of the way. Get negative Nancy out of the way. Let's hear from Travis.
Everybody told me before I got to set Travis. Everyone told me like, "Oh, you got to play," and then I did sneak on Twitter, and I'm like, "Why they coming at Travis? What happened?" And I'm like, and I caught up. I'm like, "Oh no, go. All right, so Chad, what was going through your mind when all this happened?"
It's like Bungie goes out of their way to delete all of their interesting characters, whether it's Cade 6 or Clovis. I'm so upset because I feel like he was carrying the season.
He was funny.
Oh.
Personally, I feel like he was super funny, super interesting.
So
just
just as a note, you like. If you know he's not dead, like if you do the Battlegrounds,
I know he's not.
Okay.
He merged. He merged. He did that thing that
no.
He's
like
back in the head in Europa.
He's in Europa. Yeah. So if you do the Europa Battleground, he has new voice lines that are like taunting you, and you taunt and like Rasputin pretty much tells him to fuck off. It's great.
Yeah. So I remember that. I remember that he is still alive, but I feel like they did him dirty. I feel like they were setting up for him to have some sort of arc or be a threat in some way, and instead they were like, "Nah, we're gonna delete him on episode 2." You know what I mean? This is like, it just.
But in fairness, like I will say, in defense of their choice to do this, Clovis has had some time in the sun. We got to see him in Beyond Light with Anna and Elsie, and we got to deal with some of that. And we got the early part of the season with him.
But he was never a villain.
But he wasn't, but he's just an ass. I mean, he's basically just a big, giant, egotistical guy. And then like, but at a point, like I think in fairness, I'm actually happy they're giving Rasputin some time. I think is what I'm getting to, because if it was just week 7, okay, now we're going to do the thing, and Rasputin's just kind of hanging out with us for the rest of the season, and there's no story for him, that's where I think I would be actually a little upset, because then Rasputin is just like, all right, what's going to happen with him? Now we get some time with him. So that's why I think I think the balance is probably a little more fair, because it's right in the middle of the season.
But in Travis' defense, I'll give it back to him, I felt like the twist of the knife is they even gave Rasputin Clovis's voice.
His voice.
Yeah, a little bit.
He couldn't even have his like. Sorry.
Yeah. So that one, that kind of bothered me a little bit. Also, I don't have a problem with them giving Rasputin a voice. Okay. I think that I'm so glad that he's no longer just a ball that speaks Russian. I've been happy about that forever. He's speaking my language, literally. I don't think he's that uninteresting a character. He wants to be a war god. I think that's super cool. All for it. God damn, is that space opera-ish? You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm gonna be a robot god. I was like, Jesus, dude. Okay. But I just think that Destiny has always struggled with giving you villains that you care about. And anytime they come up with one, they put them on the shelf almost immediately, right? They either kill their Oryxes or they make their Witch Queens go away or maybe be good guys later. I don't know. They've got that Fast and Furious problem where everybody keeps joining the family. Right? All the villains are join the family. And then all of a sudden you gotta God, I love Fast and Furious. I feel like with Clovis, they finally gave me a villain that was entertaining to interact with, that I could see as being a long-term problem and sort of like a morally gray person. I feel like he did all of the stuff that the Drifter didn't do. right? Because we kind of thought the Drifter was going to be like this gray character that was in the middle, but he's not, dude. Come on. He's just another good guy, and he's on the same level as the Stranger or whoever. Eris. He's kind of like another Eris character. And I feel like it's a missed opportunity. He's got to make a comeback.
I think he is. I think
later
he is.
in the week.
Not done.
I would really like for him to become a disciple. Personally, I think
you got Skarrow. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, it's like I
don't think it's over.
If you read the lore from the Beyond Light Collector's Edition, he's already communed with the darkness. That's the whole reason Exos exist. So and I think that'd be cool. Like, I don't know if it'll happen before Lightfall, but if we kill Callus, then Callus needs another second.
I feel like if they do that though, then he's not Clovis anymore, because Clovis is supposed to be pro humanity, above everything else. And I feel like if they make him, he's just going to be another. He's gonna have like glowing eyes. He's gonna be like the evil version that isn't actually the original character. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, his original motivation is that he wanted to be what he called the Luca, which is the last united common ancestor or whatever. And so I think they could very easily write it in the narrative where he's like, we purged this existence of humanity. And then we started the final shape, whatever the hell that is, and I don't know. I feel like there's enough space where if Bungie wanted to do that, I don't think it's not a possibility. So
I will say there was 2 bits that was interesting to me. Did y'all catch a part where right before, like, either he was deleted or something, and they were like, they found out? There was like a line, like, I'm trying to remember where I saw it. It was like a text or a line of dialogue as if the jig is up as far as Clovis knowing that they are on to him.
his final words or something as he was going, or something he said, is like, they found out. I know what you're talking about. I don't know. It was either when he was going back to Europa, the last thing he said on his way back, when he was kind of transferring his consciousness back to Europa, whatever that may be. I know what line you're talking about. It does exist, and it's like, who found out? So I know
who found out.
I gotta look because I know what you're talking about too.
Right, and then the other thing is just like, it is interesting that the resolution to me is. I do feel Rasputin's resolution came back very quick, and I know we're doing the sun mines and getting the data, but I got this funny feeling we have not heard the last of Clovis just yet.
I feel like if Bungie wanted us to have if they wanted this to be the end, they just would have killed him right there. I think that would have been really easy to do. Like, that was his actual consciousness. He's dead or whatever,
And I thought the reveal was cool about what his motivations were. Like, he wasn't trying to protect humanity. He's trying to destroy the traveler. And I just love his disrespect of anything light and anything sorcery and magic. And if it's not scientific, he's like, what is this nonsense? He was like, and then your so-called savior gave this thing to the Hive. Like, he is hilarious. That's why I'm with Trav. He can't go away. Like, he's just too funny. But in Travis's defense, it would be weird to see him subjugated by the witness, because he is so pro-humanity and his own thing. So I would love to see how that dynamic plays out, and maybe he tries to double or triple course if he can. That would be good too. But what you was gonna say to you?
No, I was like, I think you guys are all on to. I appreciate his character because he is just so smug and egotistical that the interactions are great. Because like Marasov being just absolutely almost the same back to him is great when she just kind of sets him up and just shuts him completely down.
She's also the worst.
I know you.
What did he say to Mara that pissed her off? It was mad funny.
Oh, I can't even. There's a lot of good little one-liners in places in the heist battlegrounds and stuff like that you hear, but it's like there's going to be a point. Somebody said it in chat is like, Anna is going to be like go bad. It's like, we know Elsie has experienced that version of in her universe, and now she's in ours. So there's a point to where, Anna, Clovis, Elsie, theoretically, there's a chance for something to go poorly, again. So you've got those options. And as you guys said, Clovis still being, I don't know. I think I agree where you guys, I don't think he could be a disciple because he is too much he wants to be number 1. He doesn't want to be number 2 to anybody. He wants to be,
but people used to say that same thing about Callus, right? Like literally that same exact argument about Callus.
I mean,
that was his entire thing.
I mean, that's fair. But it's
and actually Shivu Wrath as well. At one point in time, all of the disciples we know just wanted to conquer the entire universe,
and then maybe
and be the God Emperor.
Then maybe they saw the darkness per se.
Yeah, and then they were like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'll just be super powerful."
Yeah, he could be converted. Would be interesting. I mean, it's like if you're going to line somebody up opposite Rasputin, Clovis would kind of fit the bill for going down the line of Avengers and villains kind of thing. So that would be the logical progression of an AI versus a bad intelligence kind of who's turned. So it would be kind of.
Yeah, Trav. You gonna say
Clovis?
Mhm.
Clovis, if you're listening from your domain on Europa.
He's in the internet.
You know what's great about you, Clovis, is that you could become the face of a new group of villains, perhaps one that is already robotic and famously does not have a face to attach to them.
Those are balls.
You know what I'm saying?
Those are balls.
If I'm listening,
I like that.
If you're listening, all I'm saying is maybe abandon those Exo. Look at maybe the Vexo.
Bro, and to your theory, Osiris was talking to the stranger this week and was talking about how the Vex have certain subsets, and it's not that kind of not that they branch off from the hive mind, but they operate independently.
Yeah.
Yo, now you put Clovis ahead of the that's the only weakness upset with the Vex. I'm with you. I'm with that thing. I want that to happen.
Clovis has a robot army.
Woo!
Woo!
That's fire.
Let's do it.
Clovis, the big bad of Saga 2, the Vex Saga.
Sure.
Clovis running the Vex.
I just hate to see all that potential wasted. And I'm hoping that Cog is right and that he's gonna have another trick up his sleeve. Not looking good this season.
I will say
that certainly not
looking good for my man in season of he got when Zero Raph got Osiris out of there and they had to get it looking bad. It looking bad. I didn't think it was no way Osiris coming back. I still got hope for it because this voice actor's so good. He's so good. I can't see it throw away this.
Bungie does take so much time to do this. Like Rasputin literally has been dead for 2 years, right? Like since Arrivals. So it's like it's not out of the realm of possibility they're just putting Clovis in the closet until next saga. That's like I honestly think that's perfectly reasonable. So
I think so.
I don't know.
All right. Well, in that case, I will withhold my disappointment. I like what they're doing with Rasputin. Clovis, I feel like they did him dirty. He should be in charge of everything. Go Clovis. And I don't know. We'll see if we use him in the future. If he does, I want to be the raid boss. Bungie, if you're listening, make me the raid boss. I want to be on Clovis' side.
Just the tie.
It's just the tie. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
You know how like in Ocarina of Time, there's the boss that's just like the hands. Just the tie.
That'd be great. Yeah, no.
Like, what was your standout? What was your standouts of the season? Just narratively,
I mean, one of them's like when it's like early on. It was almost like week 1 where Osiris is talking to Anne about the tea. I think that line is just like that one hit like deeper than I thought it was going to. Just like in that discussion, all of a sudden I'm just like sitting there listening on stream. I'm like, damn.
Can we give my man some credit? He's been real vulnerable and like a better character this season. I feel like he even said,
he can die. He's like, oh, I gotta kind of be a little better person now.
And he's like, I'm selfish. Like he's really opening up instead of the pompous, arrogant thing. But I'm sorry to interrupt.
When you lose your guardian abilities, you get a new outlook on life.
Yes, but continue.
That's one. It's a lot of the little stuff too, because it's like the little voice dialogue where I was even looking it up a minute ago to where one of the ones where Anna now sends like, hey Anna, I've heard you were seeing somebody. Elsie and Anna are talking. They're like, hey, you can come hang out with her and stuff like that and meet Anna's girlfriend. And it's just where it's the little pieces building up all these characters. And I'm kind of enjoying all of that. I mean, you've got the mention of Nefeli's strongholds. You've got all these little things that are coming together that lead us into Lightfall. I think it's just a very well done delivery device to Lightfall. That's actually a fun journey along the way. It's like, we know we got to get to Lightfall. We knew it was coming like 3 months ago. But the fact that I'm having this much fun as we get there is quite nice. I think that's probably because I was like, there's a lot of little stuff in there. I mean, the cinematic was fantastic too. I enjoyed that one.
That storyboard was amazing. I know you must have been going crazy on that storyboard.
Oh yeah, we were watching it and it was just to see that Clovis actually wanted to take the war sets and, basically neutralize the Traveler. He wanted to be number one, which is not surprising if you talk to him for 5 seconds. You know he's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
But
I do like how
it fits
Oh,
his
sorry.
personality. No, you're good.
I do like how this year, let's say, I guess a better thing to start with is like last year with the Witch Queen reveal, there was no tension because we knew like what was going to happen, right? Like, and so I guess it happened a little bit differently than we expected, but it wasn't in a way that got us like, the plot twist didn't come until the next season, right? And so, but that season of Lost was every season or every week, it was like, all right, we know she gets out of this crystal. Like, we know what happens. This season, there's nothing like that because there's nothing about Callus or the Witness really in this season. So I kind of like that. No, we don't really know what's going to happen. So
yeah, I think again, it's like from season of The Chosen is I feel like that turning point for the narrative. Whether you hear the rumors of what was happening in the studio, the narrative team couldn't, whatever, who knows? But it felt like at that point they started to really design this like character progression and arc and everything. I'm still waiting for, if you go look through the press kit, there's some cinematic somewhere where you got like Zavala and a projection of Caiatl and projection of Mithrax, like the whole gang sitting there in the office talking. I'm going, I really want to know. Or is that just going to be like, all right, let's go to Neo Muna? I mean, that might be the end of the season or something, and you got 5 weeks to kill to get there. But I'm still curious to hear all of those characters in the same room. And the fact that Mara's standing in front of Zavala, I want to know how that actually happens. So it's like the fact that there's still stuff to look forward to, as Skarrow said. It's not just, she's going to break out of the crystal in, well, it's going to be 6 months, so we'll see you guys then. Like this one, it's a shorter time window. We know it, and it's still a cool journey to get there. I think that's cool.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and then also along the journey, there's actually been some pretty good loot. Like I've been enjoying.
That's what you've been rocking.
I finally got to craft my Ikelos SMG, so I've been leveling that one up. I finally got to craft it. I haven't leveled it high enough, but I had one drop that was feeding Frenzy Volt Shot. So I was using that until I got my craftable. So I was just like, I'm good. And then I crafted it. I'm like, all right, well, now I got to level it up so it's like enhanced. And then like at the same time, I got Disparity. And then I also got the machine gun, the retrofit. Or the void,
the void one.
The void one. Target lock and 4 times is what I'm going for. So I have all 3 of those. All 3 of those on my character, and I'm just like playing Iron Banner. I may not be the best, but I like Disparity for a 4-shot pulse for me anyway. So just as I do matches, I'm leveling all 3 of those guns up at the same time. So it's
nice.
Yeah, I mean, we've got new perks. So you've got the close to melee or whatever the glaive one is.
I love that glaive.
You pair that with some of your exotics, you can do some beast damage that I've seen. Of course, the Ikelos SMG is beasts. Nice to see machine gun getting some love with target lock being able to put out some damage. If you pair it with volatile, it's kind of stupid, but I heard that might be a bug. That it's actually as crazy as it is. But I mean, I will say for me being a go figure guy, I am eating really, really, really well right now. Because, like this is ridiculous because we have Revision 0, we have Disparity,
you do it
and then we have Velis X.
4 bursts to 2 bursts.
4.
Oh, use a 4. I do the 2 first. Okay, 4. You do the 4. Okay. Continue.
All 3 of those are aggressive pulses. All 3 of them are the 4 burst. So the Velis X, Disparity, and the Revision 0. And then if you I just unlocked it from it's the seasonal weapon.
Seasonal one.
It's fine.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I feel like Disparity feels better already, but I'm still using it for the triumphs and stuff like that for the in an XXII. But yeah, it's like I'm as a pulse rifle guy, I'm like, okay, pick one. So I'm doing fine on that front, and then a couple other nice ones in between. Is there anything you guys else are enjoying, or what are your loadouts? Or I will say we'll get to Iron Banner in a minute, but the loadouts, the subclass in there is pretty obvious for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what you rocking, man? What you like? Weapons.
I have a big problem with not using new things. I find something I like and I only use that. So I'm still on the Fatebringer Forbearance.
Forbearance is still god tier.
I mean, my Forbearance almost has like 50,000 kills on it. Like it's just like
you got the ambitious chain reaction. What you
doing? Of course. All gold with the trials memento.
You bought it with the double perks. I know.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. You can pay me to take Forbearance out of that socket.
Forbearance is so, and with weakened clear on that.
Yeah, it's just like it's stupid. So yeah, I'm sure the new guns are fun, but
he said I'm sure that new stuff is cute.
Yeah,
I'm staying where I'm at.
Yeah, I've been leveling in Ikelos because occasionally you throw on Witherhorde, you need like an SMG option for it, so that'll be a really good pairing. But yeah, it definitely hurts me in the long run because then we go into like GMs and I'm like, I have no idea what the hell I'm gonna use. Like, let me find this scout rifle from 4 seasons ago I've never used before.
Fair enough. Chad,
yeah, Forbearance is just good.
Yeah, Forbearance is so good. Chad, what you rocking, man?
My loadout?
Yeah, what you rocking out here in these streets?
I've got my I'm like a seasons behind because I refuse to do the red border grinding. So I finally got my Zawili's Bane.
Oh, what you got on it? The little baby sunshot.
I really was wanting to make it a PvP gun, but I honestly don't think the recoil was made for it. So I just made it a PvE gun, and I put a enhanced incandescent and enhanced firefly, all the PvE perks, and I've just been walking around doing that. I was busy with something yesterday, and I asked my fiance, "Hey, can you grab the controller and like keep me alive, like go kill some things?" And she did that, and after I came back, she handed me the controller, and she was like, "This gun is amazing," because she's never had like a god rolled weapon before on her account. She's a warlock. And she doesn't put in the time to actually exactly. I mean, she's a new player, so she's supposed to be a warlock, right? Anyway,
yo, y'all wildin' today.
I mean, he sets up T-balls. I gotta hit him. I gotta hit him out of the park.
Anyway, she's never played with a high level weapon, so when she played with that, she was like, "Oh word, is this what it's like?" Like, geez. And so she was quite enjoying it. But yeah, I'm rolling with that. I'm trying to get that in, and then I have a shotgun or a fusion rifle in the top slot, and then the bottom slot I'm usually doing like I'm still doing what's the 3 burst linear? That's been
what type you do? Oh, you doing Storm Chaser, or are you doing Taipan?
Storm Chaser. Storm Chaser has really not left. I know they debuffed it, but it still hasn't left my inventory. It's just so useful in so many different situations. Yes. I'm kind of like always rocking it. So.
Get fire and forget the Stasis one. If you love Storm Chaser, it's aggressive and it got the Vice Stinger. So each of those 3 shots has a chance to proc Vice.
Where do you get that? Is this
it's the craftable joint from Rasputin.
It's this season.
Yeah, this season. You gonna love that. I finally get Storm Chaser. I was like, Fire Forget is a better Storm Chaser, and you could get Chill Clip on it. The only thing, I don't think it has triple tap or firing line, but I think it has Focus Fury.
Yeah, I think I have firing line and Frenzy on my Storm Chaser, so it's just been
it's good. That's sweet.
But
sweet.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, for me, I got I was funny. Shout out to Ducky and Buddha, who's in the chat. They ran me through the dungeon. Every drop, I got boots or arms or something stupid. I was getting angry. Like I was like, bro, y'all not giving me one weapon? Like every drop. Get to the end, and then I'm like, what's this Terminus Horizon with rapid hit and Volt Shot? They were like, what? I was like, yeah, I got some machine gun. Bro, that machine gun is serious. That joint with 450, it's really, really good because you get the rapid hit, you get the reload fast, you got Volt Shot on the machine gun. I think it's the highest level Volt Shot percentage out of all the weapons. You got that. I'm loving, like I said, the glaive, the solo one, Kilgaroth, whatever that was. I got a close to melee and overflow. That is crazy. I don't really have to reload. I'm just running around, beating stuff up. I'm with you. Disparity is god tier. Like you throw Tombstone on that with the Stasis, and then it has the
Headstone?
It also has the and then you throw
Tombstone would be much funnier, by the way. Sorry. You kill somebody in PvP and it's just a little headstone on the ground.
So you got the Tombstone. So you got that, and then it has the Stasis one that destroys turret and Stasis crystals easier. So if you could just like headshot, blow up groups of enemies if they're in proximity of the shard. So it's crazy. Like the Stasis build I have with that.
Yeah, you and
is
your
sick.
Shadebinder get to enjoy Stasis. Me on a Titan is just like, it's like, okay, we'll get to Iron Banner in a second, but you're like, oh, run Void or Stasis. I can tell you I've seen 0 Behemoths running around Iron Banner at all.
You wouldn't get your super before the match.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, nobody ain't running that Jay. But yeah, Fire and Forget is crazy. I got some sick rolls with that. Again, it's like it's replaced Storm Chaser for me. And what was the last one? Yeah, like what hard content I do what Skarrow does. I bust out the 4 Barons. You know, I'll bust out some
Arbalest has got to be my biggest crutch, and I know it is 100%. But I was like, you have your energy slot, whether it's Void, you know, match the shields that are going on. Now we got like Volt Shots and Incandescent, whatever they're going to do for Void next season, because that was like rumored that there's going to be something along those lines, which is probably going to be like what's the Graviton Lance perk? What's it called? I want to say Cataclysm, but I know that's not it because that's actually a different weapon.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The one that does the extra explosions.
Yeah, it's like the little. I feel like that could be like the Void perk if you like, you know,
right?
Like that could be something they like. Those are
cosmology.
That makes cosmology. Thank you. That makes that middle slot for your kind of primary weapons really good most of the time.
Yeah.
So then it's like, okay, so DPS, and I'm going snipers suck still in PvE. So. An Arbalest is just too much function that you can just, oh no, a Hive Knight put up his shield, dead through it, and it doesn't matter. And then you can have fun with heavy. But I mean, for me, Arbalest is just they're gonna have to just take it from me at some point because it's the only thing that lives up top. I actually don't have that many kills on mine because it's probably more shields and other setup than other things.
Yeah, because my thing is whatever primary, whether it be Pulse, I'm having fun with it. Or an exotic, and then in the what I'm using is the middle slot. It was most likely a 4 Barons or any type of legendary grenade launcher, weak and clear, and then I'm just lacing them with the heavy, and in my case it's Fire and Forget. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun. The weapons have been fantastic. Wasn't the biggest fan of Revision Zero when it first came out. I was like, seems kind of vanilla, but as I'm playing more with it, and obviously we're going to unlock more of the retrofit things, it's really good in PvP. I mean, my head pinched by that. I'm still getting killed by that and DMT a lot.
Well, DMT is stupid in PvP. Literally, it's all stupid. You see. If it's got any range on the map, DMT is back, and it's back with a vengeance.
Sunset it.
That's fine with me. I could care less if I don't do much. I don't do that much PvP. Would not hurt me at all. That gun can just go. The mission's gone, so maybe the gun goes with it.
Yeah, it's just. I think Chris Proctor likes it a little bit too much, so I don't think he'll ever get rid of it. But I think it's the fastest a gun's ever been, like the best, and then not good, and then the best again. Back to back.
I played Trials that weekend, getting my head pinched on Eternity from kids with that.
Oh, last weekend on freelance and boosted rep, I played last weekend, but it was Eternity. Oh, it was nothing but that weapon, like half of the population, and I'm mid skill bracket. I'm not even that high, so no, it was not my favorite. But yeah, Revision Zero is actually not. Even though I will say Revision Zero with its like intrinsic barrier was not working so well on the barricades that people were putting up. It was having some weird interactions with that, like it wasn't shooting.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Guess what does? Your disparity with the Hake trait destroys them barricades.
Well, no, but I'm saying like the barrier should shoot. Shouldn't it shoot through them? And
I feel it should.
But I was like,
wait, does Arbalest? I need a video.
I need to test. I don't know if it does or not. Maybe I'm crazy. But I was like, I thought a barrier weapon would shoot through those, and I'm sitting there not doing squat to them with Revision Zero, and I was like, wait a minute. So maybe I'm just thinking wrong. But again, DMT was a bit much. But yeah, I played Trials this weekend for rep, but it was not my favorite. But at least it's freelance, so it's, sometimes I'm on the good team, sometimes on the bad team. But
did anybody get the machine gun? And anybody knows how it is? I didn't get it.
Haven't got it yet. I didn't get that far in the rep run.
Gotcha.
Got incandescent. I mean, I got a subsistence incandescent avalanche.
Oh, speaking of
which, Dawning.
Love my Dawning. Travis's favorite event. Love my Dawn. I was baking my cookies.
Baking all those cookies.
Did you get your Star Baker title? Did you get that, Trav?
Yeah, I got a title for putting my head in an oven, and until death.
Instead of Star Baker, it's Self Baker.
Galler doodles in your infinite forest.
Travis, how does Destin feel about the Dawning?
Destin Legary?
Yeah, because they've got that the cookie side thing, right?
Yeah, he should.
Homie, my boy Destin hasn't played Destiny since 2016.
He's
I
missing
just
a
listened to-
marketing opportunity.
I just listened to Xbox.
joking.
Well, I know, but he was like, he
Podcast
actually,
Unlocked?
It's a lot.
yeah, unlocked, and he was like,
Mention
yeah, I
it?
played some Destiny too. He said he was playing a little bit, getting into the season again.
Yeah.
He's like, I
Oh,
like
that
it more now because I can jump in late and just play the whole
Bro.
season at once. And I was like, he
Exactly.
plays that.
Destiny. Everybody has to come back for dawning.
No, here's the
True.
thing: is he's just a casual. He like,
Oh,
I mean, he was a casual when we did Fireteam chat. What?
Oh!
No, but he's he doesn't really play that much, but I'm sure that is a good idea. He should be cross promoting. I also asked him if he was going to be doing anything with mint in his cookies for the holiday season, and he was like, no. And I was like, Destin, you have no business acumen. None whatsoever.
Look, Bungie's been doing crossovers now, right? So for the next
True.
dawning, he just needs to work out a deal where you can make like Destin's chocolate chippies in game, and then he
Mhm.
has like a sponsored tricorn cookie.
Right.
There you go.
Hire
How
me.
about
Actually,
how
don't
about
hire
you
me. My
get-
wife's a business major. She'll take the California
There you go.
salary. This will
Yep.
be great.
true?
Yeah.
True.
Love it.
How about this? If you complete the book, the Dawning book, 50% off your first order of Destin's cookies.
There you
Hey,
go.
IRL.
there you go.
There you go.
Boom. Boom.
Massive
Mhm.
cross promotion.
Destin's gonna be looking at his margins like, I can't afford that.
Yeah. He's like, I made 7,000 cookies and I made $1. Damn.
I also don't think he can handle that volume if every Destiny
Yeah.
player got an
Oh my
offer.
God,
like
can you
this.
imagine?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
He
he'd be
bakes in
finished.
his personal oven. His own oven. Talk to him about
Oh, man.
Salute, Destin.
Okay. Well, we covered that's most of Season of the Seraph. Anything else you guys want to catch up on Season of the Seraph? Just kind of whether it's loot, story, anything at this point. Just kind
Oh,
of
have you guys talked about the dog yet?
no, have not.
yeah.
not.
That shit's awesome.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Look,
Good boy protocol. I'm like,
Yeah.
come on now.
Kind of, right?
Oh,
say that again.
Technically a spoiler since it was like bugged into the game or glitched to.
It wasn't really glitched because if you could run it
This week you could get it for real easy. You can just
yeah,
walk.
if
you can do it
2
normal
weeks
this
ago it
week.
was, yeah, or last week. If you have multiple people on your fire team and you have different upgrades on that bottom row, you can use them independently of each other.
Mm.
And so, like, you just need one person with the laser and one person with the security door. So it's
Mhm.
not. I don't think a bug. Maybe a bug. Maybe Bungie just didn't think about it. I don't know, but that shit was very cool.
Yeah,
Very,
I
very
wasn't
good.
sure what was down there, and then all of a sudden I got to the bottom. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
I pre-ordered that. I pre-ordered the plushie already. It's already pre-ordered.
I knew you would get
100%.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
Come on.
But all right, I got to push back. It's a little disrespectful that you get, what is it, all 50 of those things, and that's all you get. Like,
nah,
bro,
Sparrow.
Yeah, you get a sparrow with cool lore actually on it too.
It's the cool. It's like one
Somebody
of the
send
cool
me a picture of
sparrows.
this, Sarah. I haven't seen this. Sarah.
Well,
I gotta-
It's like a
It's
Rasputin-
called Archangel.
It's like a war mine
Archangel
sparrow.
retrofit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like a war mine
Guarantee you
styled
it's not
sparrow.
worth that
Like
many
War Mine
hours of
style?
your life.
Yeah,
It's
I'm like,
not
come
that-
on, Bunch. You could give a little something more than that.
What do you want from it though? Like normally that would have been a triumph. They at least gave you 2 things for it.
How about a weapon?
Hello.
They just gave you revision 0 from the damn mission.
Oh, there's the sparrow. Okay.
Yeah, it shades really well, and it has a Rasputin trail on it too.
Yeah, Sarah. I
How
mean,
about
at least
a
they
catalyst
gave
for
that. I
exotic
didn't know
weapons?
about this. I will give credit. I did not know it was a sparrow.
Also, look, I just want to say, like, as the Triumph Hunter here, you also get like 12 triumphs for this entire process. So,
I actually wanted to ask you that. For this year,
yeah,
and this will kind of lead into, I guess, a little bit of another topic. We'll save Iron Banner for the end.
Mhm.
For being a Triumph Hunter, I know there's very few of you, and some people care about getting a lot of them. Some people go for 100% like you and a few others. Some people just look at them, are scared, and turn the game off. How has this year been? Like, how would you, like, Risen, Haunted, we all know Plunder was a struggle in this season. How has the Triumph progression been? Do you feel like they're getting nicer about it? Do you feel like it was like Plunder was scary and they learned? Like, where do you feel they are at in Triumphs for especially completionists?
yeah, I feel like they're just kind of random with it nowadays. Like the first Risen and Haunted were fine. They weren't anything weird, pretty standard. Plunder was probably the worst, like the hardest, and mostly just because of the multiple fronts, 250 champion and expedition triumph. And then there were a lot of grindy ones. There was like one where you had to emote with your teammates after like 150 catch crashes and stuff, and it's like that's not fun. Like I don't know. I feel like sometimes like it's in the name, right? Like triumphs, they're supposed to be triumphs, and like grind is not really a triumph, So, but it's whatever. This season, it's been really generous. Like they're pretty easy, but it's also the shortest season we've ever had, and it's the most new titles we've ever had in a season since titles launch.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And so it's like
because you've got what Dungeon, Dawning, Seraph. At least those for titles and see.
Glorious was just added.
Yeah.
And I think there's one more, and I don't remember what it. Oh, 2022.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Seriously, that's there's a lot to do.
There were 5 new titles, and then multiple guilds, like 7 guilds total or whatever. So this is it's been like nonstop, like getting these things, but the grind's been fine. So yeah, it's not. I think Plunder was like an anomaly. It was just not a good season for a lot of things, including triumphs. But
I'm hoping they heard that feedback, and even like right before season of Seraph launched, they're like, let's adjust some of these numbers down.
Yeah,
because like that seems like a small change. Like, how many champions do you need to kill? 250? No, okay, let's make that 50.
Yeah,
just be more reasonable with everything. Because those were. I mean, it was just as you said. You don't want to burn people out. It's like you want engagement, but that's a bit much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like, it's fine. Just vibing.
They're gonna check in with the completionist since we had Teddy on 2 weeks ago, but didn't ask him. Yeah, did you miss? Did you see Teddy? Yeah, Teddy was on.
Miss Teddy.
Yeah, last week we had 2 of Travis's friends on.
Snuck him in here.
Yeah, it was literally mid-episode. I'm like on OBS, like adjusting everything.
You would have loved our last episode, Skarrow. It was good.
It was the new player experience. So he had 2 of his friends that were both. One played like a little bit of Beyond Light, fell off, and then came back last couple of months, and the other one is about 6 months ago started, but is more hardcore. So it was 2 different new players' perspectives, and
it's hilarious.
Like I bet it's so overwhelming. Like
it's overwhelming and confusing, and also hilarious that they have to go through that. There's so many things that I never thought about that just crack me up, like the resource scarcity and not having the basic mods for your weapons. Oh yeah, just put a resilience mod. I don't have a resilience mod. I have to wait for her to
like
sell
the
it.
plus 10
stuff like
stat
that.
mods.
Like, damn,
you're not given the plus 10 stat mods. I'm like, what?
You have to wait for her to sell it. You have to wait for her to sell it.
Or it's a random drop, he said. One of the two. It's just like
it's a complete disadvantage.
That's one of, I was like, that kind of takes us into what my next thing was going to be for a topic, and that's going to be Lightfall. And the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is, what are your worries about Lightfall? I know we got hopes and thoughts and systems that could change, but what are your worries that when we get Lightfall, you're going to be like, what is that moment? What are those things that you are worried about that Lightfall either won't change, that may not change well, that may not, what are you guys, Lightfall launches. And chat, let us know, what are your guys' worries about Lightfall, things you guys think may not get changed, may not be hyper. Where are you guys at with all this stuff? And if you guys think of any, you can go first. I mean, Skarrow, you feel like one's on the tip of your tongue.
Yeah, like, this has been my kind of main concern with Bungie for a very long time, and I feel like it hasn't been addressed. And it's like their proactiveness to fixing things. Like, I feel like Bungie waits for like people to really like get fed up with things, and then it's an additional 6 months before it's addressed. Always, no matter if it's PvE, PvP, it always, there's always like a curve. And it's like people have been complaining about stagnation in a lot of the seasonal content for a year now, and we just now heard about it. And then Joe Blackburn's like, oh, and it'll be addressed in like the 3rd season of next year.
Season like 22. We're going.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm a chemist. I'm not a game designer. I don't know how the hell this works, but it's got to be faster. Like, there has to be a way where at least some of the feedback can be implemented faster. I don't know what it is. I don't envy their position. I am not trying to be a backdoor or backseat game dev, but there are like I did a huge rant about this on stream yesterday. The whole Crucible map thing. Like, people have been begging for Crucible maps.
Oh, I saw your tweet. You was wild, disrespectful, and dysfunction, sir.
Okay, let me tell you. I don't know if we've ever talked about this. And look, this is something that, well, I'm going to go on a little tangent. I'm going to come back to this.
You guys are not going to be pleased with you. Your PvP
People still don't know Disjunction is not a new Crucible map. It is just Frontier from Destiny 1. It's just a reskinned map. Stop calling it a new. Like, I don't care if they bring back old maps. It's fine, but don't lie about it. It's literally like I have a whole a side-by-side video breaking it down. It is literally Frontier with slightly larger spawn areas. That's it. That's it. And so, like, okay, that was my little tangent.
Frontier, what? That's like the whole bridge one, right?
Oh, you give it a
yeah.
You ain't see this man tweet on this map about how it's terrible for this mode.
It's a bad map. It's awful. And then they're like, oh, we don't wait for it anymore. Bullshit, you don't wait for it anymore, dude. I'm telling you, I get that every second game in every game mode. It's not a good map. And then, like, DMT's running rampant. It's like, oh, great. Here's a sight in their freaking spawn that I can see from my spawn. So yeah, that sort of thing. But the fact that, like, the whole, it was like 2 years since we had gotten a new Crucible map, and then Bungie finally addressed it, and they're like, "Hey, you're gonna get a new Crucible map," which wasn't a new Crucible map; it was Disjunction. That's not a new map. And then an additional year later, they're like, "Oh yeah, in Lightfall, you're getting one Crucible map." It's like we've been given this feedback for 3 years. Like,
selfish,
why?
Man, you're thinking about yourself. You got to think about the PvE community's needs first.
Maybe I'm not. I don't even look. I'm not a sweat. Like, I don't even think about PvP 90% of the time. This is just like.
Are you implying that there's a disparity between the PvE content and PvP content?
Look, all I'm saying is PvE might not be getting strikes, but they're getting Battlegrounds, which are pretty fucking close, And Crucible isn't getting anything. And it's just like, I'm not a Crucible player. Like, I obviously get all the Crucible stuff and I play a lot, but it's like, I don't consider myself any, like, first, second, third, or fourth a Crucible player.
That's coming from you.
Yeah, it's just like, and I just think the Crucible map is like the perfect example of what I'm talking about. Like, Bungie waits until the last second, and then they wait 6 more months, or in the Crucible map case,
9
a year.
Months,
yeah, and it's like, I would just like, I really, really want to see that either addressed, because they stopped talking to us about anything, or see it actually, like, actions other than words, like actually see more stuff. I just don't understand. Like, well, I'm not a game designer, but Call of Duty used to release 4 multiplayer maps every 2 months. Like, what the hell?
You compare this to the industry standard of a game? Like, what's wrong with you? These are unrealistic expectations.
Maybe.
This is just ridiculous.
I don't look. I don't know. I don't know.
Like, I am the lowest of all the PvP players in this entire podcast, I'm sure, in the grand scheme of who plays that often. But I will say, even for me, when they're like, they're working on the one new PvP map that we're going to give you in the year of Lightfall, I'm like, that doesn't feel like the sentence you're supposed to be saying right now.
Yeah, like, do they have like one intern on it? Like, I don't know what goes into this, but like, I just can't imagine it is multiple years more work than like a raid. Like, I just don't understand. I don't know. If anyone from Bungie happens to see this, like, I promise, I love you guys. Like, you do amazing work, but please just, like, talk to us.
Yeah, I was like, I would love to understand.
Make it make sense.
I was like, how many people does it take to go in it? What's the, I mean, you've got like palettes that you could use, because you have like the Splicer Zone PvP map in there. Europa, still not a PvP map in there. Maybe we will get, we've got that one. We have the Throne World now. We
throw one in the Pyramid from VoW.
Like, I would love a Pyramid map. Are you kidding me? Like, Disjunction doesn't count. That's a paint job. That's not a map.
It's in the swamp. Yeah, it doesn't.
It's in the swamp. It's not a pyramid map. I want a pyramid actual architecture map.
While we're complaining about pet peeves,
okay,
which
Bungie, please.
Which, as you guys know, is my favorite thing.
Yes, we
bring back this segment, Bungie, please. This is my zone. I'm just enjoying this podcast as a viewer today. That's really all that's happening.
He's just a smiling face in the corner.
I have to call this out because I said that I would if they ever did it, and they did it. All right.
Let's go.
We've been talking about the 3 pillars of Destiny, and yes, PvE
2
is-
pillars and there's like a stump, but continue.
Gambit does
Exactly.
not count. Don't.
That's what I was gonna. So you're way ahead of me. So what I was gonna say is, PvE is obviously the one that actually is a pillar. It's marble. It looks amazing.
So really, it's a bar
Crucible-
graph, low, medium, high.
Crucible is one of those historical pillars you see in Rome that's half crumpled, but they still have it there because it kind of looks cool. It's not supporting anything though. And then Gambit is a stump log that like a bunch of termites have eaten at it, and it's just sort of a splintered wooden mess that's waiting to return to Mother Earth at this point. And I said that if they ever added a PvE, PvP game mode and did not put it under the Gambit tab where it belongs, that I was going to lose my shit. And guess what? The day has come because they added turrets to Iron Banner. They added enemies, PvE enemies to Iron Banner, and it's under Crucible, and it doesn't make sense, and I hate it. Okay? I hate it. If you're gonna make Iron Banner a Gambit mode, put it under the Gambit tab because your boy is dying. It's dying.
That's awesome.
And it's like Gambit is has a deadly peanut allergy, and all you've been making is peanuts lately, and you finally got a food that doesn't have peanuts in it, and you were like, let's give that to Crucible. You know what I mean? Like they badly needed the nourishment, and you didn't give it to them, and you could have, and it really bothers me. So look, I know that just putting 3 turrets in a map doesn't make it a PvE mode. But come on, man.
Like energy ball?
Come on. It's not Crucible.
Crucible.
All right, this is the easy solution here, right? Delete Gambit, take the one unpaid intern that works on Gambit, and move him in addition to the 2 unpaid interns that work on Crucible. And then you got 3 interns working on Crucible content, and it's like now we're getting somewhere. So
yes,
Well,
I kind of agree. Like
Yes!
Crucible, I feel like if you're gonna let Gambit not like if you're just not gonna do anything with it, and you're gonna continue to claim as early as last season, as recently as last season, that it is your 3rd pillar,
ritual
just
activity.
kill it, and make Crucible a little bit more whole by adding Gambit to it. Or if you're actually gonna claim that Gambit is your 3rd mode, it's PvE PvP. Then anything that qualifies for it, put it there.
I was like, and then what if they got creative with it and actually experimented with some things? That'd be crazy.
you take that back right now.
You shut your
I'm
mouth.
still,
I do not want to play more Gambit, okay?
Skarrow, I don't think we've talked about this, but I'm still salty that they added a purely PvE mode to the Gambit tab like a year ago, right? Whatever that mode was called, where you had to cross the bridge.
Cross the bridge,
Oh, Reckoning.
Still furious.
Reckoning.
Thank you. Still furious.
Well, it was
that
that's
they added
kind of
that.
PvE. That was kind of PvE versus PvP because if you match made into it and you got a bunch of blueberries, you were actively fighting your teammates to try to stay alive.
Very true. Yeah.
So,
In that case, Crucible is Gambit because some of my match made teams.
Yeah. Friendly fire. Occasionally, you just like it to be on and be like, you're not helpful.
imagine if we had Reckoning with
Halo,
Eager
bro.
Edge. Like the amount of people would be just launching you off of the bridge constantly.
Oh, God. That's actually a good thing that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
But no, it's like when you see the turrets in there, I'm not saying specifically Gambit, but it's like, it just feels so underutilized. It's like, go put it in the tab up there. Just have a big Vanguard, big Crucible. Don't mind where my hands look like right now. Don't mind that. Anyway,
we definitely demonetize that.
yeah.
Gambit is definitely if Crucible and Strikes are the boobs, the Gambit's goddamn the belly button of Destiny, dude. Let me tell you.
No, it's the naval lint of the belly button.
Wow.
But that's one of the spirit fingers. There you go. Spirit fingers. That's all that is. But it does feel like something that fits so well into Destiny and it just has never had a priority. But granted, if there's like a big influx of Gambit content, the Crucible people will lose their mind justifiably, because that's where the priority should go first. So it's just kind of like Gambit needs to, it's just there, and it's going to limp on to the end of the Light and Dark Saga, and then they'll figure out if they're going to do anything with it. But that's
Banner is back.
Yeah, so Iron Banner Fortress, it's basically zone control, so you get no points for kills. You get points for holding your zones. You see the little like tick counter go around it, and every 15 seconds you get some points. And then 40 points and 80 points into the match, you get a drop pod to come in, which Skarrow has a wonderful video that he got squished. Because it is a drop pod, and it will still kill you.
Right after I placed a bubble, too.
Oh, that was even better, too, yeah. It was a bubble squish.
In the bubble?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, instant death.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yo, Tom, bro. We got to get Tom. Remember we had Tom
Yeah,
on?
he's
literally
responsible for the Cabal
for that
drop
code,
pod.
For the Cabal drop pod. So I hit him up one time. I'm like, bro, you're killing us right now, man. You're killing us right now.
Now,
I do really, so like one thing with that, I do really like the small attention to detail. Every map where the pod drops, it has a direct line of sight to the sky. Ooh. So like even in Burnout, like they could have moved it so it was like in a building, but they there's like just a little crack that it comes through on Burnout. I really like that sort of thing. So
placement's legit. But you'll get 3 turrets that come down. You kill the turrets, you get a couple of points, and then when you hold that point, which takes like a second to capture, it's really fast. Every 8 seconds or so, you get 4 points for holding it, and that's the only thing that's up. So if you've ever wondered what happens when there's one objective point, when there's 12 people in a match and everybody saves their super for the exact same moment, this is what happens when 12 bubbles launch on each other and then one thunder crash comes in and screws everything up.
I thought you would like that because you're such a mayhem guy. I think you might like that part. Yeah.
It is utter chaos for that little moment, and I'm actually kind of okay because like once I'm done, and it didn't help, I will be honest, that the Bungie's like, hey, this season in Iron Banner, your daily challenges are going to be Stasis and Void. And I'm like, Titans are not going to play Stasis, so then you shove everybody into Bubble World, and it's control, so then bubbles have even more of a point. So then it's everybody be like, all right, what is a counter bubble? Whether it's the ice tornado, whether it's a Nova Bomb, whether it's a Thunder Crash. And as soon as I'm done with my like daily challenges, I'm like, all right, Thunder Crash. I'm just waiting. Bubble. I love popping bubbles. I just popping balloons all day long. So, are you guys having fun? Are you guys enjoying the mode?
I don't mind.
Yeah. So
since
I just ran over Bungie's head with about the PvE situation, I actually quite like it. I quite like this game.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Because it solves a few of the problems that I think have sucked about Control historically, which is that people capture a couple zones and then it's just Clash indefinitely until it's not Clash. And this one actually rewards you over time for holding points, and that's actually where you drive your points from, and you can see the ticker going down, so okay, I got to keep it for a couple more seconds to get that extra point. And I like that. I also like that it wipes the slate clean regularly by forcing you to get the high priority one or whatever it's called, and having everybody rush in there. Did I need a drop pod in Crucible? Certainly not. I've been killed enough in PvE by drop pods that I did not need one.
Tom.
It's a great idea. Kids, try this at home. Is get yourself killed. Get yourself killed by the drop pod animation, by the drop pod. Not in real life.
In the in-game.
Calm down, Skarrow. Calm down,
Minecraft. In Minecraft. This is not TOS. This is good.
Get yourself killed by the drop pod in Crucible, and then when you respawn, make sure you have the drop pod respawn animation equipped. All right.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. That's anyway. I quite like it. I was playing it a couple nights in a row, and it's fun. I wish they gave me a reason to play it, because I don't really have a reason to play it this season. There's not really anything to chase. There's a triumph I already have, or what is it? Not triumph, title I already have, and
you can gild it.
You can gild it.
There's some.
You need that little pet.
No, I would.
You gotta get your little pet.
I'd rather play 3 matches of Gambit. That's how much I do.
Oh, hey, you can gild that
too.
You bet.
Yeah. No, thanks.
Yeah, I did that. I did that last season by accident. So,
Jeez. Yeah. But the armor. You can search for the armor. Not really. It's not high priority. I feel like I'll get it eventually anyway, and then I'm just going to transmog it. I don't actually care about the armor itself. I just want the design. But
Yeah.
Also, Bungie, I grinded for it in D1. I feel like you should just unlock it for me in transmog.
I already paid for this armor, Bungie.
Yeah, bro. I get that when you reissue a weapon, I have to re-earn it, but this is literally just cosmetic. Like, come on. I should be able to get that.
It's like one free set every so often. Come on, Bungie.
But yeah, it's not complete pain. I will say this, though. I feel like they've reworked Iron Banner a few times. And every time they've done it, I've been like, this is pretty good, better than their other Crucible modes. And then they kill it and replace it with a different version of it. And I'm like, guys, all of these ideas are better than what you had. You know what I mean? Like, maybe pick one, or if you're going to throw away these other ones, maybe put them in the quick playlist as an option.
Where's like Eruption was fantastic.
Eruption's my favorite Crucible mode of all time.
It's fun. Eruption's fun.
It's kind of
missed it.
It's kind of
crazy.
crazy.
A mode made streamers, actually.
Yeah, it's very fun. And the fact that we have 4 versions of Rifts in Crucible this season and not Eruption, it's like, what's going on? Why is this like this? But it's I've been really enjoying the new mode too, though. I don't dislike it. As someone who likes to play a little stacked, I've not really been enjoying the matchmaking as much. Like Iron Banner used to be the place where I dropped all the gold medals like constantly. It was just it's so weird that it was the most chill place to hang out, and now it's not. I saw a tweet the other day,
and Fire Team now, I guess.
Yeah, both. I saw a tweet the other day that was like, it might have been DeFizzle or something. It was one of those guys, and they were like, or maybe it was Walla. But it was like, Trials of Osiris is like the only normal mode in Crucible that doesn't have skill-based matchmaking right now. And that's wild, you know? It's like, what? It's maybe the Crucible Labs doesn't, or the Rotator, one of the two doesn't, but like Quick Play, Iron Banner.
Yeah, the Rotator doesn't or something,
Quick Play, Iron Banner, and Comp all have skill-based. And then like Trials doesn't, as card-based, you know? So it's just like, very odd. I don't know. Yeah. Give me one connection-based playlist, you know, that's like, and Eruption. Give me a connection-based Eruption.
Connection-based Eruption, so you can get your drop 50 heads.
Then I'm fine, you know. I just want one play. I want to save space in Crucible. That's all I want, you know.
I feel it. No, I feel it. I actually, this is my first time playing it in a while, and you know, I was one of the few. I surprisingly had fun playing it. I was enjoying it. I was like, all right, you know, because I'm all about, you know, that version of control where the actual controlling the points actually matters.
Yeah, like zone control,
Yeah, like I like, you know, to me that's really playing into the objective. So that was cool. I was just trying to get a feel of the meta because I've been out of the loop for a while. You know, I was kind of messing around with different loadouts and stuff. But yeah, I was having fun. I mean, the turrets look funny coming out. I was like, what is this? I was like, what is going on? Why? Them things hit hard. I was like, all right. But to me, the fun is the chaos of the point cap.
Oh my God, it is insane.
Everyone's coming there. You see the bubbles, you see people charging up Nova balls, you see this whole just chaos. And I was like, it's different, but I like it. It's silly. But
there's a lot of Weather Horde, by the way. So much Weather Horde.
Yeah.
It's anything objective based, and it's a point on the ground. Yeah.
But I was carrying you, sir. I was the top killer on the team. Only Sarko had me one or two matches, Buddhas. I see you talking, but my KD was up that match. I was doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I had fun with that. I did miss out on that mode though that y'all talked about.
Eruption last year.
I missed out on that, so I didn't get a chance to see that.
Hopefully they bring it back because it was a hell of a time. I really enjoyed it.
The feedback on that had to be good enough that it's got to come back at some point. Like maybe in Lightfall it comes in as some type of piece of a rotator, but
good feedback and coming back in Crucible don't really.
Sorry. I got my expectations too reasonable.
People have been asking for Meltdown and Solitude back, like literally since they left, and not a single word. So, and they brought back Vostok. So, you know, the Eruption's never coming back. We get another version of Rift, the 4v4 Rift next season.
Hold on, let me get at my clanmate Buddha. While you were complaining about getting murdered, I was on top of the team list at least 3 of the 4 games, sir.
Oh, so that is one thing. Thank you for pointing that out. So,
there's no kills in the.
There's no kills. And kills,
yeah.
don't. So this is the first time, like, ever. And this is call this a weird flex or whatever, but I'm like consistently bottom 2 of the leaderboard every game because objectives suck. You know, so it's like I'm just running around killing people, and it's like, oh,
So you're why we're losing. I see how it is.
Yeah,
You're
there
right.
you
He's
go.
the guy. He's that
And
guy.
it's like, oh, I think I killed 50 people that game. I wish I could check. Like, you know, I have no idea.
Yeah, I saw
it's-
Fallout post something about that too, where I think Tassie said something and Fallout did, and it was this
Yeah,
little
it's-
discussion back and forth where it's just the idea that he's like, kills still help you win the objectives.
Yeah.
So they still would like, he's like, I'd like to still see what they are to know. It's like, you know, maybe
Yeah.
you were heavy objective, you were like, you know, slaying out maybe whatever it is, but he's just like, I'd like to still see it. That's all.
I don't understand why they don't put every stat. Like, so
Yeah.
in Gambit, in the end of game screen in Gambit, there's like 3 tabs where you click over and they give you like 15 stats total.
Mhm.
It's like, why do they not just by default do that for every Crucible mode? Maybe it's a ton of work. Like, I have no idea. Once again,
It
like,
is weird because the funny point that Fallout made that had me died is I think him and Tom Warren got into it, and he was like, I don't want to see turrets destroyed as a
Yeah, it was him and Tom. That's right.
He was disgusted that it had turrets destroyed. The statistic.
Or it's like, have that too, but on page 2.
Could
You
have
know,
killed-
it's like, I don't know, like how they pick these things, but it's you know, it's fine. It's whatever. It's still a good time. It's still fun. There's some bugs, but I'm sure those will be fixed by the second time, you know, they come around and stuff.
What bugs have you seen? It's been
So the medals don't work.
that's
for,
right. That's
for
right.
the game mode. There's you know, stuff like that. I don't know, not really a bug, but this has been probably the laggiest Iron Banner I've ever
I
had.
have felt that actually. and
Yeah,
I'm usually
I have
pretty good.
played an unreasonable amount of people with names I cannot read,
Yeah.
which is usually how I'm like, you know, one, I'm like, oh, that guy, you know, changed his name because he thought it was funny. But when you get like multiple 6 stacks of, you know, you know, not English, it's like,
Mhm.
I wonder where these guys, what servers these people are playing on. I don't think they're playing on
I
mine.
was like, I've been in
But-
freelance the whole time, but I've still seen a few, and there's some I'm like, all right, I know I'm not always the best shot, but you're definitely lagging because there's some where they're like, I'm just shooting into this like body stuck in a wall, and you do see him die. Other times,
yeah.
completely whiff and you're dead. It's been not all bad, but I feel like I've felt it more than I have in a little bit. It does feel
Yeah.
like they're trying to do fire team, they're trying to do skill, and combined with, I guess, connection, it's getting to be. And I'm sitting in the middle of like Texas, like I should have plenty of people to pick from
Yeah.
in the country, much
Mhm.
less just between Travis and Cognito. There's enough people that I should like. I can understand, you know, like Ascendant Nomad who's over in Dubai. He's got to have like an absolute hell of a time for a connection, but I probably should be okay, and I'm still seeing it. So if I'm seeing it, I know it's got to be worse for others, especially like high ends of the skill curve, like whether it's low or really high. It's got to be there's got to be a point where it's getting a little painful.
Yeah,
I don't know, but it's been, you know,
It's player
been
base.
fun.
Mhm.
Sorry?
Player base. This point in
Like-
the season, player bases always get bad, and that makes the playlist worse. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
there's a good middle ground. I would just want to say to everybody, once again, maybe for the 4,000th time on the show,
Mhm.
that skill-based matchmaking and connection-based matchmaking are not mutually exclusive.
Oh, absolutely, sure.
100%. Yeah.
You can do both, and they're both great factors that every good matchmaking system should have. But if you have a low player base, then none of that matters because you're going to get
Yeah.
bad skill and bad connection regardless. So, I mean, I think
Yeah,
that's
you need
probably
the player
the issue.
base. Wonder how the numbers have been doing. I haven't checked in a while since the season.
I mean,
Right.
they're
It
okay.
must be good because
but-
I haven't seen anyone tweet about it. So
Yeah, 'cause it
yeah, I
must be
mean,
up.
they're okay. But if any, in an age where every single game is asking for all of your time,
Yeah.
they just want you to play it constantly. It's tough for Destiny PvP to compete.
Right.
PvE, I'm sure, no problem there if you're running a strike playlist and stuff. But PvP, like, you know, a lot of my friends who were like sweat lords and trials, they just logged off and went to like Halo when that came out, or another game that's a little bit more like balanced, or you know, dedicates more of their time. to the PvP game.
Oh,
whoa, that's unreasonable, dude. We got a whole new Crucible map this year.
This
New.
year. I love how you put
and,
this year.
and we got 3 turrets. We got more turrets than we did maps. How does that make you
And
feel?
they're all different. One's a red bar, and one's an orange bar,
done.
and
I'm
one's a
done.
yellow bar. That's
I'm
more
done.
work. They could have just
Ooh.
copied one turret 3 times.
Ooh. Yeah, it's true. That's a good
Yo,
point. I
Bessie.
never thought about it that way.
Bessie.
Man. No, I'm just having fun,
Mhm.
obviously. But
Of course.
I do really like the new game mode every season. I would like a new Crucible map every season as well, but I'd like a new good Crucible map every season as well. But a new game mode's fun, and hopefully, I do like that they're experimenting. I do like that they're more wacky, and I'm excited. Please keep it up.
Keep messing with the modes for sure.
I feel like we're so
want
much louder with negative feedback, but I want the good feedback or the positive stuff
To
too.
reinforce it.
I just want them to step farther outside of the box because they still have like half a leg in the box when they're experimenting. I want them to like throw the box halfway across the room and then see what happens with some. Like, can you imagine this game mode with like, but just call it suppressed? You have no abilities and it is just guns. Can you imagine like if they had a suppressed mode, like we've talked about exotic gun game, just to play?
Yeah, I mean, I've played Call of Duty.
Yeah, I know. But it'd be just like, I don't know. I think it'd just be fun to see, or maybe it's a suppressed time. Maybe like the capture point when that thing comes up, it zaps everybody's abilities, and it's just like it suppresses. You don't lose them, but you don't have your abilities for the big capture point. So then it really becomes like gunfight at that point.
Oh, you mean gunplay?
Yeah. And then like, hey, when that
no shields too. No shields.
No, like you're suppressed. You're suppressed. Oh my god, yeah, barricades. Even as a Titan, I'm like, yeah, it's a lot. But no, like
I mean,
abilities.
No over shields. Like you just have
like half health.
Oh, you have a third health at that point. Yeah, there's
and your ghost gets disabled. So if you die in the game, your character gets deleted.
Now we're talking. That's the game mode.
That's hardcore mode right there.
I'll be playing on my Warlock.
Yeah. Let me jump onto my hunter real quick. I don't need him.
Yeah, my Titan will be right in that mix.
But I was like,
I mean, this is a good idea in chat. How about instead of turrets, they spawn champions?
Ooh.
And you have to
that's evil.
I will kill myself.
I will. No. Oh no. Can you imagine like
barrier?
No, like you have an overload champion, but you can't stun it. So it's just like kind of tanky, but you can eventually kind of work it down. But there's one on each side. So like each spawn zone has one, and then you got to kind of take it out. But I was like, I think.
All right. Here, how about we spawn Oryx? They have to do a full encounter against him.
While PvP.
While PvP. And it won't be in Gambit. We'll call it PvP. It'll be 100% Crucible.
PvP.
This is like in Warzone. I don't know if you guys have played Warzone too, but you get in the gulag to respawn, and the jailer spawns, and you're like, you go on the hot mic, and you're like, all right, let's work together, let's kill him, and then everyone goes to kill him, and then you just kill the other team, and then you just respawn. That's exactly how this would go every time. That'd be great.
For sure.
I think it'd be interesting though. Like that's what I'm saying. Like right now, it's like it's zone control with like a couple turrets, and I like the reset on zone control, but it's still zone control. It's like. Yeah. I want them. I mean, we talked about exotic gun game, but can you imagine, like, hey, that would be kind of a perfect time when the big turret lands, like the turret like suppresses your abilities while it's in there. Just so I want to see them just get far, keep going, keep running away from that box.
The orange Cabal suppression shield from one of the like way back. Like there used to be lost sectors with them.
Oh. Yeah,
like on IO and stuff, and then you'd have to go in and like melee the thing to break the shield generator. That'd be awesome. And like you're just all in the Rumble Dome, like meleeing each other, all slowed.
Everybody's slamming. Warlocks is coming out on top of that.
Yeah, an infection style mode where like you've got one that type of stuff where it's like one person has a sword. And then everybody else has got guns, and eventually, like, start more and more. Yeah, we've joked about this stuff before, but it's like I'm hoping, like, Lightfall, Final Shape. We got like 8 seasons. Keep running away from that box. Keep getting a little more creative, and keep putting nothing in Gambit, just everything in PvP.
What do you think about Are you familiar with Halo, Skarrow?
A little bit.
Yeah, so Juggernaut mode, where one person has their super forever. And it's a roaming super, and you can only get points if you are the Juggernaut, the person using your super. So you get kills, and then everybody else is trying to kill you, and if you get killed, then the person who kills you becomes the Juggernaut.
That would be sick, actually. That'd be so good. Imagine like an infinite golden gun, right?
Oh,
You're just like,
Yeah.
Nobody could get to him.
but
Nobody
they
can
don't
hit
have an overshield.
No, because
right?
they're all
So you
ganging
can,
up
like,
on him.
Yeah,
It's
I
all
mean,
V1.
eventually you're gonna die,
You're,
but man,
you're
Golden
all
Gun
on the
would be-
same team.
That would be
You're all on the same
awesome.
team.
That would
Well,
be
like,
sick.
What's
Call it
Thunder
like
Crash? It
infectious
just like
light or something.
how does Thunder Crash work? Just fly around and
It
land.
would
you'd have
have
to
to
be
be
roaming.
roaming.
Roaming, okay.
Yeah, roaming.
Yeah, it's gotta be
Awesome.
roaming super.
Honestly, the Warlock Stasis one would actually be the nightmare.
Oh god, that would be
Oh,
awful.
yeah.
Yeah, nobody's picking Behemoth.
Or just make it the Strand. 2 of the Strand. All 3 of the Strand are roaming. The Warlock one might
so.
not be,
I
but
don't know
the
on the
Titan
Warlock
and
one.
the
Oh,
Hunter
yeah,
and the Titan
the Warlock
definitely
one
are.
is just Nova Bomb again, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Kinda,
kind of.
yeah.
But it's like that air floating suspension thing that I've
yeah.
seen in
Yeah.
the preview.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
That's
I'm
the
still
one
curious.
that they kind of suspended and
Yeah, I think
Which
that's
one
the
is
one
that?
where they're like all tied up in like the
No,
strand,
yeah.
and they all kind of like float. So I don't know if
Oh,
it's
yeah,
that,
yeah.
and then I don't know if it's going to be like a snap
wonder
where
who
you kill
got
them all
that.
or something. I'm still curious. I don't know if I'm
Mhm.
not that excited about Strand because again, it's just
Really?
the grappling hook. No, I'm very excited about the
Wow.
grappling hook.
Okay,
that
there you
is
go.
that is its own thing because grappling hooks. Somebody else, I think I was listening to
Mhm.
Chris Reagan. He's like grappling hooks. They're the best thing in video games. They are always they're
Yeah.
typically
Yeah.
fantastic.
Ability.
But for Titans, guess what? We get another thing on our fists to punch with. This time it's just a green blade instead of an ice fist. I'm like,
oh, God.
that's that. The super just doesn't seem
You're just not
exciting.
happy with the Titan.
Yeah,
you haven't been
it's
happy
like-
with Titan supers lately. I've been feeling.
Well, I mean, Behemoth.
They're
we
all
did-
kind of the same.
Behemoth.
Yeah.
We
All
did.
Titan Supers are
Behemoth.
bad.
We got
You-
screwed. Like I'm just gonna call it. I think Behemoth
Yeah.
got screwed, and Strand.
Well, not in 1.0. In 1.0, it was actually
No, like
mean, it
when it
wasn't-
got nerfed though.
yeah.
Like-
As soon as it got nerfed, it sucked.
And I
Like
still
bottom
miss it.
tree hammers was like what I consider that was the one that lasted forever. I think like in its top form was the best super ever. Like you could duel anything. You could literally duel any super in the game with bottom tree hammers. But then
Yeah,
they
that's
made the
great.
change when Restoration came.
Yes.
Where Phoenix
Yeah.
Protocol or Phoenix Cradles don't stack
Mhm.
or anything, and it's just like they're trash now. It's just a worthless subclass. Feels so bad.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah, they all feel bad.
shame.
And yet, I use the hammers.
There you
Actually,
go.
no, I
I
used
use-
Thunder Crash.
Lately, it's
Crash.
been Thunder Crash, especially for like trials, because I can
Yeah.
usually like get a decent group
It's
kill
the
or something
only-
like
The
that.
only answer.
Man, I
But
had
you
that
get your
so
super twice as fast as everyone else, anyways.
Yeah.
Like, why would you not use a shutdown super right now? You know,
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
or a support. You know, one of the two.
Mhm.
The moment when the match was like 4-4 and I managed to get a Thunder Crash and kill the entire team was like,
There you go.
those are fun moments. Those are fun moments.
Yeah.
They're just rare.
Mhm.
Actually, I'm loving that the Bubble Titan is resurging because of the new Iron Banner mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Because it's been
played
back
Zone
in a
Trials?
big way. Oh my god!
yeah. Zone
dude.
capture and trials is
Zone Trials too.
it's
Yeah,
really quick.
it's
there.
just like so. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about with to call it back to like an hour ago. The stagnation in the bubble has been like clearly a problem for this is the 3rd season, and it's like Bungie will finally address it, and then they'll fix it 6 months down the road. It's just
Yeah.
like I feel like stuff just
How do
takes
you
so
fix
long.
that
long.
though? It's our
You just-
super.
Well, so I actually threw out an idea on. No,
What you got?
I hate to keep plugging stuff, but I
What you
threw
got?
this out on Twitter where you
Mhm.
would have zone or mode selective modifiers. So if it's like a short mode like trials, it's
Mhm.
like your tier 1 supers like your strikers and things like that take longer to charge. They now have a tier 3 cooldown, so you actually get them fast.
kind of compress the cooldowns
Yeah,
for something like
exactly.
trials.
If you have a shorter game, you get your supers back, faster. And then if it's like a zone control thing, your quick supers actually take longer to charge. And that way you kind of even everything out. Because the charging system in the first place was mostly, at least it seems to me, was designed more for PvE, not PvP.
100%.
Yeah.
And so I feel like you can compress those times a lot in PvP.
Well,
And-
I actually that might not be true because I remember they specifically said that they wanted to make it impossible to get your super in some of the game modes and stuff. Like
Yeah.
that. They actually talked about PvP when they rolled it out.
Yeah, I
agree
guess
agree
there's
that
probably a little bit of both in there.
Context is everything, right? Like
Yeah.
the Titan bubble is clearly more powerful than it should be when you're in a control mode. And
Yeah,
so I feel
exactly.
like
Right.
it should just differ.
And
Yeah,
so
you're right.
having little modify, and we know they can modify super stuff because like Aegers does it.
Yeah.
There's mods that do. Like they have the ability. I don't know how selected they can be on that, and they can say like, this super. I'm sure they can be like this subclass gets this benefit, this one doesn't.
Mhm.
and just put game mode specific modifiers, and so you get some super slower, some super faster, and it doesn't mess with the overall balance of the game. Just that one game mode.
No, for that.
So
I can see that.
I don't know.
E? Your thoughts on that?
Oh, no, I mean, I completely agree. Just because, yeah, it's like I pick Thunder Crash all the time, but I was like, there's still times in trials where I don't even see my super just because I'm on the losing team. And it's like, even if you get stomped on, you're definitely not going to see it. And if it kind of gets close, you might. And then if I know I kind of get to that point in that last round where it might be close, I'm like, I'm going to hang back, just try and get a chance to use my super, because it's been like 3 games since I've done anything. So
yeah, it's pretty crazy that any trials match can go to like round 9 and you still might not get a Dawnblade or a Behemoth or whatever. It's like, that's just kind of why. They're not that good. A super in trials at best can win you a single round, right? Yeah. So it's like, Golden Gun is a tier 3, I think, is not that much worse than Dawnblade or Behemoth. They'll both secure you a single round. So why are they that much different cooldowns? They shouldn't be.
I feel like after kind of some balancing and abilities and like not really mattering the way they've kind of changed something up, I hopefully in Lightfall they do some revisiting to some of the some of the supers and stuff like that. And that's, I guess, kind of like the last little thing to touch on is, as we, probably won't see you before Lightfall unless we do just, want to try and have you pass Teddy in appearances on the podcast. Just every other week you're in here, just like,
let's do it.
Co-host the show.
Take that, Teddy.
Teddy's going to be like, he just like appears on the call. He just hacks his way into the Discord call. It's like, excuse me, you will not pass my appearances. I don't think so. Teddy's the one who could probably do that. But no, Lightfall. Campaign, Strand. I know we talked about like worries and stuff, but like worries, hopes, like Lightfall we're in week 5. So we got like 7 weeks to go. We're not that far away. We're in 2023.
Yeah.
February 28th is literally going to be like end of February, and March is go. And also February is going to be so many games. Yo, what's up, Alex? Happy New Year, everybody.
What's up, bro? Happy New Year. What's going on, bro? Good to see you.
And I just wanted to see where you guys at for Lightfall hype. Big, medium, small, like crazy ready, or just, a little trepidatious depending on previous experiences. Where are you guys at for Lightfall hype? What are you looking forward to? What are you worried about? Where are you at as we get closer and closer?
I'm excited. I mean, it's funny because it still hasn't hit me that it's kind of that close.
Yeah.
It's weird. I'm like, yeah, it's coming. The big worry I have is just, are they going to hit that target date, especially with the games release list of 2023. 2023 is a monster year for games. Like tons of good games are coming out. And I'm curious, not that Destiny has to worry about proximity to other games, but I'm just worried if they're actually going to be able to hit the target, kind of thing. So that's probably it, the release. Normally we would hear about a delay by now. So it does seems like, they're on target. I'm not too worried. Just, I guess I love the the aesthetic, this, very cyberpunky, very cool kind of thing. I forget Trav. We worry about Trav.
It's not. It's also first of all, it's not cyberpunk. It's Tron.
Tron, whatever it is.
What's wrong with Tron?
Great. It looks great.
Nothing's wrong with Tron.
I just love that different aesthetic. I'm trying to do. I'm going to see how the patrol zones and how expansive it is. If it's not like a very small kind of hub kind of thing, I want to see how they handle that. And obviously, Callus and the narrative and stuff like that. How deep do they go? Because on surface level, I don't want it to be too simple. It's just like this, like the beauty of Witch Queen was the complexity, the depth, right? I'm not worried about campaign because to me they proved with Witch Queen we can do a classic Bungie level campaign that is really high quality. So I think they have the template already on that. The key to me is just going to be the story payoff. Is it going to be as interesting as how Witch Queen? Because that's a high bar. Yeah. That's a very high bar. And I don't know, Savathun was a complex character that we learned about. Callus, I love him, but you may have to throw other things in this besides just, Callus and some things. So, you got that. As far as the game itself, I'm not worried about Strand. I think Bungie's so creative. I mean, the fact that I even seen that type of traversal, I'm still like, my mind is blown. Like, how are they doing this? Like, that is crazy to me. It's almost to me Insomniac like, in the sense of, just moving around the map. And then how is that going to affect older play spaces? Which Strand?
PvP? You thought about Strand and PvP?
Well, don't you?
Yeah,
don't you
I've
need
played
a
with aerial
attacking point?
effectiveness. I've thought about stranded PvP. Don't
What'd you
get me
say, Trey?
wrong.
Don't you need I think they said you need a point to grab onto, right?
grab
You
onto.
No, you don't. Nope.
No. The points on Neomuna allow you to use your grapple without consuming your grenade charge.
Mhm.
But you can use the grapple anywhere on any.
Anywhere. So it's like the fictional Spider-Man. They can do it anywhere, kind of thing, right?
They even showed in the reveal them
Fictional
using
Spider-Man,
it.
would just be one pull, right? It's basically like one big jump.
Yeah, but it's like a big swing. I mean, one of the ones you see
Yeah,
like kind of
there's
swing
momentum.
around a pillar and get like momentum to do. I could see
Or
some people...
it also brings you to they show like you grapple on an enemy and it brings you to that enemy, or maybe it brought the enemy to you. It was one or the other, but it was like a little trailer.
Okay, that's.
But like I've been playing Bannerfall on Iron Banner recently. It's like, can you imagine somebody like kind of running like in that big open zone in the middle, just running out and kind of like doing a little momentum and then come back to like the other side and just being way out there far enough and swinging back. It's going to be interesting depending on the area. So
I'm really excited for it.
I'm really excited. I think the gameplay could be really transformative if they pull this off. That could really transform locomotion, movement, and things like that. And we got to see how that translates into the game. But just my main thing is the payoff narratively. How's that going to work? I'm a big raid guy. How that's going to go? That's Pinnacle activity for them. And then of course the elephant in the room is, what the hell are they going to do for anything for PvP? I would like to see, because technically this is the preface, what we're getting now. Let's see what they do.
All right, they'll reskin Frontier again, but Neo Wave style this time.
And that'll be the second dedicated Rift map.
They'll call it Frontier. Wait, no shit. Frontier. I was trying to fit it in by butchering it. Frontier.
Frontier. Yeah, I would like a themed map.
Yeah. The new map needs to be
with the new content. Yep. Yeah. So
shall I go next and make it a compliment sandwich?
Let's do it.
Yes, please.
Your boy's worried about Lightfall.
Oh no. Is it Bungie's final chance?
Super worried. No.
Let's go.
There's a lot of weight on this expansion.
Yeah,
Bungie will never have a final chance. Bungie will die because Destiny will die because Sony will scrap it for parts to work on 10 other live service games.
No,
that's what
don't
will
say
happen.
that.
It'll be a brain drain. That's going to happen. But anyway, no, I actually my worry about Lightfall are a few things. One, this is supposed to be the penultimate chapter, and its tone feels completely wrong to me. I've said that like a few times on this show, that like to me it's like it feels like a side quest, like it's very like silly and kind of like out there and stuff like that, but it doesn't really feel like the chapter before it all goes. It also doesn't really match the name of the deal of the expansion to me. Lightfall does not seem like what is describing what's happening there. So I also think the villain is weak. I think Callus is not super exciting. I think a lot of people don't even know who that is. I don't think people are going to be super excited about this dead fat ghost face.
You think a lot of people don't know who Callus is?
Yes, I know that a lot of people don't know Callus.
It's been 5 years of Callus.
I talked to casuals though. They don't know.
Okay.
People who didn't do the raid, right? Which how many people didn't do the raid? A lot of them
like
in
Destiny year
Destiny
1,
2,
yeah.
Didn't play the seasons, right? So they wouldn't have seen him there.
I mean, Callus has had more face time than any other villain in Destiny, right? 4 raids, 2 seasons,
that's
3
probably
seasons.
True, but that's also not a very good contest. You know what I mean? Like they've all had 4 minutes of face time across all of them. So I think a lot of people don't know who it is, and I also don't think he's that interesting. Personally, I think he's not that interesting of a villain. I'm also worried about Bungie's language about velocity versus quality, and the fact that they're not delaying this expansion and what that might mean. And Cog and I were hit by a very, very gross bug this week that apparently is pretty common, which is we were doing the a Seraph operation on the hardest difficulty, and when we got to the end, it put us back at the beginning and told us to run it again. We got caught in an infinite loop with the legendary Seraph mission.
Yeah,
and I talked to people, and they were like, "Yeah, it's happened to me too."
Wait,
the heist battleground or the exotic?
the exotic quest.
The exotic.
I know the exotic
the one,
can like bug
where
in
you
the
get
middle.
kidnapped.
In the bug in the
One where you
middle,
get
and
kidnapped.
it's basically spawn. It gives you that spawning.
Spawns you at the beginning.
Yeah,
Of
spawning.
the
You
whole
gotta
mission?
keep it down.
Yeah,
like
and then it
say,
asks you to do it again, and then when you get to that point, it spawns you back again. It just puts you in an infinite loop.
Yeah,
It happened to Cog and
I haven't actually
so
seen
we
that.
were
When
like,
the
we were
three brigs
pissed
come
off.
out, and you
Yeah.
you know when you do that encounter when that fight, the three brigs,
Yeah,
what you call
yeah.
it thing.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
beat that,
Yeah.
you go on forward, and then we got to another thing, and then it kind of did this
when
loading.
you kill the boss the second time, where he shows up and he's at half health because of the first time you fought him. After you kill him, it spawns you back at the beginning, and you have to blow up the barrels again and do that fight. And then it just keeps putting you in an infinite loop. And I was pissed off. I was like,
Weird.
this must be a once in a lifetime thing. And then other people I talked to were like, nope, it happened to me twice. Like other people are
They
getting
haven't
this
even
as well.
heard about this. It's wild.
Anyway.
Yeah, it did happen. It was bad.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm worried about the quality of the game given the lack of time they've had to work about it. And so yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm a Destiny player. I want it to be good, but I'm kind of concerned that this is not going to be to the same quality as the Witch Queen. Certainly, I don't feel the hype that I had going into the Witch Queen. Just me personally.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's been
And my only hope is that this is all just a guise, like
That's what
they're.
I was about to tell you. Know it's the fraud. You know they gonna set you up
you
with
say
the
that,
real.
Cog?
He the mini
Yeah.
boss.
You say that, Cog, but we live in the era of we're never gonna get Forsaken again.
Ever
You know what I
again.
mean? Where,
Chloe's
like,
gonna be the boss, and you're gonna be like 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
the
I
odds of
agree.
these things to any Destiny expansion is pretty much zero. Let's be honest. But I'm a critic. I've seen Destiny go wrong many times, as we all have, and I'm just a little concerned that Lightfall is not going to meet my expectations. I'm sure I will have fun with it. I'm sure it'll have weapons I'm like. I'm sure the combat's going to be good. I'm sure PvP will be getting nothing. And so I'm, my expectations are about what you'd expect, but I don't know. There's something about this one. I'm not feeling it.
Okay.
Something feels off. You guys remember how Gotham Knights showed itself like 4 times, and every time everybody was like, I don't know. Something feels wrong with this game. Something feels wrong with Lightfall. I don't know what it is.
That's where you at.
Just a little worried.
I hope you're wrong.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong too.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong. I
Yeah.
really do.
It's
Dude, that's-
I think it's a huge misdirect as well. Like it's the original Lightfall marketing was very dark, and then they just hit us with the 180 Neopop Wavetron type stuff. I think it's a misdirect. I think we've seen like the giant space battle that all happens by Earth. Like you can see Earth in the background. That's not by Neomuna. And so I'm hoping it's like we go to Neomuna and then we kind of rubber band back. And yeah, I think I hope like Callus is like essentially what was the guy at Forsaken? Staff boy?
Was it the what's his name? The Mind? What is it? I forget his
No,
name.
not the Mindbender, the other one. The
I'm
guy-
blanking. You talk about the what you call it? This guy's troops.
Fickrul, yeah, Fickrul, yeah.
Fickrul,
So-
yes.
So I hope Callus is like that, and then we real big bad we get. Oh, and I really hope we get crushed, right? Like this is in no way like a unique take, but I like to say like this is going to be our Infinity War. Like I think we are going to lose here, and I hope we get like obliterated, and that will make up for the lack of depth in the bad guy. It'll be the first time that we've ever ended an expansion on a loss. I think would be really cool.
Okay.
So is that going to be, how would loss fit for a live service? Are you talking about like losing NPCs? Like,
yeah. So this year, every season we were getting like essentially either a new disciple or acquainted with a disciple. So it was like Risen was kind of Savathun. I don't know what the hell you were. Risen doesn't count. And then Haunted was Callus, and then Plunder was
Aramis.
Dead Guy. Nezrak, but also kind of Aramis, but also Aramis kind of spilled over into this season. And now also Shivu Wrath is kind of in this season as well. So it's like, this is like the year of disciples. I think like next year, every season we're getting an ally. So we'll be getting like we need like a Captain Marvel, like a super OP person. So probably Archangel, which is in the original plan for Rasputin in Destiny 1 was to be called Archangel as a Guardian.
Yes.
So I'm sure they'll bring that back. They've been bringing back all sorts of stuff. Mara, I bet will be a huge person. Maybe Toland. We haven't heard from Toland in forever.
Where the hell's Toland? Jeez,
And so I bet like every season, I think we lose, someone dies, multiple people die. Maybe we lose the tower. I don't. That seems a little extreme for like what Bungie wants to do, but I think we lose like badly, and then we spend every season getting a new ally, and then we have our end game moment with Final Shape. Where we finally kill the Witness, or I really hope Shivu Wrath's actually the final big bad. Like the Witness, like we didn't know he existed until last year. He's kind of like a faceless. I mean, he was a faceless kind of name. I don't think that's as exciting as someone we've known since like pretty much the beginning of Destiny 1. And Shivu Wrath's like the classic. Like she was the weakest, she was the youngest. She would make like a great final boss type of deal. She was part of a trio. Destiny loves trios.
I was like, it does feel like Xivu Wrath needs some time to shine, and if like Xivu Wrath is the final Hive God, being as Oryx has been one, Savathun was one, and you got some space between those. Xivu Wrath does feel like if she's not like Final Shape's major piece of it, she's gonna kind of get shortchanged because one of the three gods didn't get their own expansion at that point. So
I think like we kill Callus here. I don't know if it's in the raid or in the expansion or whatever. We lose real bad to the Witness. In Final Shape's campaign, we kill the Witness, and then in the raid or the final boss is Shivu Wrath. Is what I hope it is. I mean the Witness is probably the final big bad, to be completely honest, but I hope he's not. Or
really no Witness love.
You think the Witness is the final big bad in Lightfall or Final Shape?
Final Shape. No, well, I just don't think they are the final big bad of this saga, is what I'm trying to say. Like
you hope that the Witness isn't the final big bad.
Yes.
That's crazy. Yeah,
that's unhinged. That's maidenless behavior right there.
The Witness is just not that interesting of a character to me. I mean, it's like he hasn't had a lot of build up. We didn't even know they existed until literally we didn't know they existed until 9 months ago.
All of it,
Oh, he rage quit. He you really didn't like that take.
He rage quit.
But it's really like, I mean, how insane would it? Like, I don't think they would ever do this. But imagine we lose so badly at the end of Lightfall that Earth is just fucking gone. And it's like Neomuna become like we get a new Neomuna tower. Like I think that's the best version of Destiny. I don't think that's a version of Destiny we get. But I think that would be insane if we really reeled that hard from it. And when it comes to Witness, like the Witness is fine, and they've done really well, building them up for like how short of a time we've known they exist. But it's like it's kind of a no-name, right? Like it just has, and it came out of nowhere.
I guess the more I think about it, here, let me just say this real fast. It doesn't also, when you think about the Witness and what the Witness is capable of like, basically just a whole bunch of planets like roaming behind it that it can just like take planets and do things. And Mars is there. I'm like, I don't care how big your fire team size is. The Witness is just going to be like, thump, and just like, pop you like I don't feel like we're capable of fighting the Witness, so that actually does make some sense, being as the fact that like it's got to be something on the level of like you see a cinematic of the Traveler and the Witness, or a Traveler in a pyramid ship, something along those lines. But for us to fight the Witness feels like the Witness would just look at us and be like, bye. Like
I'm with Skarrow all the way up until he says Xivu Wrath. But
fine, Clovis. Clovis is the final boss of this
Xivu Wrath with Clovis's big ass head.
That's right.
No, I'm with you. I do feel that he's too, based on the amount of power that he's capable of, and the fact that there was a collapse before, we should be Infinity Gauntlet snapped out of existence. Like that, it shouldn't even be a thing.
Did you guys catch? No. I was gonna say, Bife did a really good lore video about the Spire of the Watcher and like the little AI that's in that's
the new dungeon.
The new dungeon, the AI that's in there, and basically what it was doing, it was scanning for, say, habitable planets or habitable systems, and it's like currently we have 300, and it's like, updating, we have like 20. And it's like, is this like live information? And it's the idea that as it's doing this scan, some other galaxy is literally going through a collapse, and it happens in like real time. And then it's like, there's one safe destination. Like it goes like 320 something, one. And it's like, is there a safe path? And it's like,
sorry.
And that's all I was saying is like, if that's the scale of what the pyramid ship and the witness is capable of, us as Guardians fighting the witness does feel like, you know.
Yeah, of course. And that's why I say, which my agreement with what Skarrow was talking about, as far as the whole Neo Moona thing, us having to go there, almost seek refuge, almost, you know, even Rasputin's talking now as if, yo, y'all in grave danger. I just did the calculations. I don't know that y'all realize, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's making it apparent. So I think that and then let's be honest, the witness is sending Caiatl. There is clearly something of value and importance at this locale, that this is a key battleground state, so to speak.
I mean, it's a traveler, right? Like,
right, yeah, this is a battleground state. We got to win the votes here. So my thing is, let's see what happens with the joint. Right?
And there's another
now, yeah, no, there's another one. Yeah, definitely. There we go. We all the way in now. So my thing is, I agree. We need to have stakes, and we're making too many friends, right? These friends gotta die. Somebody has to go, whether it be my man, you know, who, you know, made the Nazareth tea. What's my man?
Nescafe?
You know, him. No, not Saint.
Mithrax. Mithrax.
We're making like Caiatl's beloved. Like we're making a lot of allies. They cannot all make it. So we need to have that Infinity War moment. So my hope is, like, you know, that we get destroyed and that now it's a matter of, you know, like these last hope kind of moves, these desperation kind of moves to try to, you know, save it. And then let's be honest, our religion has been turned on its head. What we thought about the light is the hive is running around with it. Like, you see what I'm saying? So like, I think if they do it properly, you know, and I think they're hinting at it now, it really is not this evil good as everyone is making it seem. It's how you utilize it, right? It's how you know, take form of it. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they play that out. But I'm with Skarrow on this part, and you, E, on this part. Like, I don't want Xivu Arath to be completely lost out of this, because Xivu Arath does need her time to shine. The only difference is I kind of feel like, where do you really place her story? Like where?
I mean, she could just be the catalyst of like next season or next year, right? Like she could be the catalyst. I think she'll be heavily involved in Final Shape. But the question is if she ends up superseding the Witness or not. And I just feel like she's had more build up than the Witness. I don't know. Like, obviously, like,
okay, cool. I gotta stop you there. Yeah, no. She has not had more build-up than the Witness. Not even close. What? The build-up for the Witness has started since the opening credits of Destiny 1, okay? Because the Darkness has been the big bad forever. The voice in the Darkness.
The Witness is not the Darkness. The Darkness
I know. They're the voice in the Darkness, which has been... Okay, but for all intents and purposes, the Witness is the harbinger of this thing, the Darkness, that every time anybody does anything in all of Destiny, they go, oh, but the Darkness was actually the behind it all. It's like, okay, all right, yeah, exactly. So
I want to know what the first actual mention of like the actual like voice in the Darkness was, because like vanilla Destiny 1 was the Black Heart, right? Like that was not.
It doesn't even matter if they were calling that person or that entity the voice or the Witness or whatever. It's been the Darkness forever. If you ask any casual Destiny player, the only thing they know is the Traveler and the Light and the Darkness. That's it. That's all they know. Yeah. They know that the ghosts are good and that the Darkness is bad and that the Darkness is everyone. And I feel like if they okay, first there's a few things I wanted to interrupt you guys from, and I finally exploded. First off, I feel like if the Darkness isn't the big bad at the end, yikes. That's all I have to say.
It's literally the light and dark saga, so I do feel
exactly.
Like... But again, but that's the question though, is like, okay, so you have the light and dark saga, and you do have like something on the scale of the Traveler versus the Pyramid, but from our perspective in the story, how do we face something of that scale? And you do have a lot of sci-fi background and, you know, storytelling and stuff. How does somebody like a Guardian or even a fire team of Guardians, granted, I know we faced Oryx, I'm pretty sure the Witness just eats Oryx for breakfast and doesn't really, like, it's a different level. And that's why I'm wondering how we as Guardians engage with something of
Like
that.
that.
Yeah, I'm, you know,
Yeah.
It's going to be probably disappointing, but that's fine. Endings are hard to
The
land.
power of friendship, E. You don't
Power of
understand.
friendship. We have a war mind on our side.
the
I guess
friend
that's a
game is
good
the end
advantage.
game. Yeah.
I mean, I see what they're trying to do, right? We have this apocalypse coming, and we're getting all these allies, and I think they intentionally kept Savathun alive so that we can eventually make good with the Hive and yada yada. I think it's all going to come together. You're going to get your Infinity War moment. I don't think it's going to play out in a fantastic way in game, because that's super hard to pull out in game, where you're having like all your allies wage war and all that stuff, especially on an engine that's showing its age every day. That said, I think what I'm hearing from all of you guys is that if we don't lose in Lightfall, if it's a generally upbeat, fun Tron-like experience, that you guys will be disappointed in the direction of the story. That's what I'm hearing from you guys, and I just want to confirm that and document it and have my notarer write it down somewhere, so that when
Like
the game
court
comes
reporter to
out,
read this back.
yeah, when it comes out,
I
and
reserve the right.
and it's a lighthearted jaunt through a new Saturn moon.
There's no way it
There's no
ends like
way.
that. There's
I
literally no
swear
way it
to
ends.
you, if it is lighthearted,
That would be whack.
Okay.
Witch Queen wasn't lighthearted. I mean,
Yeah.
by
it
any
wasn't,
stretch.
but that was in all of the promotions. All the marketing was, this is going to be serious. She's turned the light against you. She's the evil god. That was all of it. And all I'm saying is that when they, did a silly pirate season, and we're all like, maybe there'll be death. Nope, it was skin deep. It was a pirate season.
Forsaken was also sold as more of a lighthearted, like we knew Cade died, but it was like
He
a
did get
cowboy
murdered in the
outlaw
first
thing. But we knew it was coming, though, right?
Right.
And then they were like, oh,
Just don't tell me
it's
in
actually
advance.
lighthearted. And then the real story was actually kind of tragic, like the whole dreaming city getting caught in a loop thing. Like,
Sean,
I think
you mean the expansion that they explicitly said we're never going to see the likes of again? I'm just
the
saying.
amount of content, right? Like, there's
That's
a difference
about
between
it.
similar themes and the amount of
I'll
content.
bet
I
you
mean,
scared.
we'll see. I hope to God you are right. I hope to the war
Listen.
god Rasputin that you're right. But I just I don't
if
have.
they have a season named Lightfall and we don't lose nothing and it's lighthearted, I will be on your side, boycotting.
Yeah, I agree.
Picketing. What the hell was y'all doing?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
at some point, they had the planning of like the pyramid ship and the travelers, like the initial logo, and then we went all basically Buzz Lightyear with the logo.
I think it's a misdirect, man.
No, it's like,
really-
and
I hope
that's
you're
why.
right.
And that's why I
That's
think
the
like
obvious mood. But
I would've said-
obviously, Destiny stands are going to say that until they're proven wrong. And I
Yeah,
just want
that's
to be
true.
the one guy that's like, okay, but
That's
what if
true.
it isn't though? What if
That's
it
true.
is not a mislead
Oh,
and
no,
then
no.
it's just this?
Outsanity has the best thing. Here's the question: when we get to final shape, is the darkness Eva Levante or Tess Everest?
If it's Eva, if it's Eva, I'm rolling a cat 20 to romance the darkness, though. You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
She's got the experience.
I fully expect, by the way, for there to be something crazy that happens in Lightfall or Lightfall adjacent, like Earth getting destroyed, because I think the only way Lightness and Dark Saga 2 happens is if we're not anchored to the old stuff of Destiny. So I kind of expect that we'll be off in different galaxies, different solar systems, doing a bunch of different stuff. They can't keep sending us back to the Cosmodrome.
Yeah.
I think that
Man, I
will
hope
probably happen. I think that'll probably happen, honestly, but I don't know if it's going to happen in this DLC or if it's going to happen in a season. And I think even if they did destroy the Earth, they could manage to make this expansion not that dark. I honestly think that. I think it could be like a hand wave of like, well, the tower's gone, Earth's gone, the Traveler's dead first 5 minutes. Now we got to go to Saturn and make best friends. I honestly think that might be what happens.
Someone very important has to die. They've been setting up Saint and Osiris. I don't think Osiris dies. I think Osiris becomes like Eris and becomes like a dark Vanguard type of deal. Oh, I would not be surprised if Saint dies. Exactly.
Saint died?
I
it's going to be riot in the street.
Saint's back on Earth, helping protect shit, and then he gets Death Starred and he gets Rogue One, or Rogue One, and we get a cutscene of Saint doing some like Force Ghost shit. So
I don't know if I could lose his
Osiris,
commentary.
I
in
love
Trials.
you, and then
Okay,
but
just how Cade got iced at the beginning, and of what ended up being kind of a light betrayal revenge romp of Forspoken. Forsaken. That's a different game, Travis.
Yeah, that one comes out. That one comes out in 19 days.
Voice acting.
And then, and I think there's a difference between that. They could have that dark moment in the intro as a kicking off point, and then have the entire expansion be lighthearted. And I honestly feel like that might happen. We'll see. Like again, I hope I'm wrong.
I was like, I still think it's like,
feel like it needs to be said.
Caiatl and Callus, like that's gonna have some that's gonna have some depth, some emotions. That's gonna
could be in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, there could be can you imagine? Can you imagine Zavala sacrificing himself for Caiatl?
Chill.
Oh, that'd be hot.
That'd be
and then we can romance Caiatl.
Listen, we gotta check Lance.
I'm telling you, it's going to be a dating sim by the time the Darkness and Light saga is over. It's going
Destiny 2 dating sim.
Going to be
Destiny 2 Mass Effect.
If Midnight Suns taught us anything, it's that you can put dating sim mechanics in any game or genre you can think of, and it will work somehow.
There you go.
So,
I see you
Undertale 2, Destiny 2.
Yeah.
So good.
Dude, there's too many like moral compasses right now, and like if I've learned anything by watching TV, it's like moral compasses, they die every time. You know, it's like I've seen the first couple of seasons of The Walking Dead. I know what happens to the happy people. Okay?
Is there any scenario where we see Zavala die? Zavala's like the longest running. He's been the pillar.
Bro, rest in peace, Ikora. Just walking over her, dude.
That would be crazy too.
The Warlock, Warlock man forgets his OG up there.
Listen, as long as Osiris get the title,
doing Ikora dirty.
Hey.
I think eventually, I mean, it kind of makes sense to me to get rid of the Vanguard, to be honest. Like, I don't think we need them anymore. I don't think they're really important to the story. Like, what's the last thing the Vanguard's even done? Like, cry when we lost the tower 5 years, or the Traveler 5 years ago?
The Vanguard is starting to look to me a lot like the Council of the Citadel in Mass Effect 2 if you side with humanity. Like, you know how it's just like a bunch of like human or human adjacent figures, and it's like, yo, we've got like Fallen and Cabal hanging out with us, and you guys are starting to look a little bit segregationist over there. Are we building an apartheid at the tower? Is that what's happening right now? I'm just a little worried about it. So I agree with you, Skarrow. I think we should get rid of the Vanguard and replace it with Clovis. We need a monarch.
There you go.
Where you at?
There you go.
We need Asher Beer back. Get him at this.
I mean, he's somewhere too, right?
I'm sorry, I'm no longer available to do his voice acting, so they had to take him out of the game. There's a conflict of interest.
Post Lightfall, we are definitely going to have Mr. Skarrow back because we got to recap and see what happens in this crazy campaign. Yeah. So we got to get a revisit to this exact topic and be like, all right, what went down? Were we right, wrong, or were we close?
Yeah, how incredibly wrong. Like how many Paul Tassi level crazy conspiracy takes did we have?
Paul Tassi, huh?
No, look, man, I really like Paul, and that's like no secret. Like I talk about all the time.
He's a friend of the show. Yeah.
Some of his predictions are wild. You know, like wild.
I mean, he is a writer, so you got to put words to something. So I give him credit.
That's true.
He has fun with it.
He's getting clicks, then more power to him. So.
Well, I'm excited. I hope it's really good. I think the raid is, I think it's gonna be.
The raid. We didn't even talk about that.
Dude, I hope it's like phenomenal.
I want every boss fight to be like a Rourke. I want mix-ups in boss fights. I want boss movement. Here's the one I want.
More than one mechanic.
I think the raid is the only thing you can say for sure we're not going to be dealing with Callus and Lightfall silliness. I think that will be like the one dark part. It'll be like that'll be the witness stuff. But I honestly think everything else might just be.
I think it'd be really cool if it was another Callus themed raid. And it was kind of
people would riot. Can you imagine?
But
we're going to the Leviathan again.
Kind of hints towards other stuff, like maybe statues towards other stuff. None of the same mechanics, but similar to a lot of the Callus raids. The mechanics were pretty, especially the first Leviathan. Like there was no like flow through mechanic. There are too many raids nowadays where it's like you learn a mechanic and that's the only thing you do the entire time.
The whole thing. I'm with you on that. I'm tired of that.
I don't want teach me one, teach me a little variation. Here you go and do it again.
65 pictures and images, please, with the images, Bunchy. And it's getting more complex every raid.
Yeah, just give us
like a really cool it probably won't be Callus, but it'd be cool if it's a fifth Callus raid, and it's just like insane.
This is something I don't know if they could do, but after playing God of War, I want multi-boss fights.
Ooh, I mean, like a Bond Brothers raid.
Yeah, like Shield Brothers. But I want to see something like the symbols. Yeah, you can give or take. I mean, Shield, but like when you go through and you play God of War, there's berserkers. That's all I'm gonna say. But there's a point where there are more than one of them, and it totally changes the game when you get to those points. And I'm like, I'm thinking World of Warcraft. Like, there's a point you have 2 to manage. Can you imagine like having to divide and conquer? Like give me multiple things to look at, not just stare at one dude in the face. Like, I want to see 2.
Even better, invasion mechanics during a boss fight, like in Dark Souls. What do you guys think?
Like in Gambit?
Portal open, yeah. Well, we won't call it Gambit. It'll be a PvE only mode, obviously.
Bringing it back full circle. I love it. There we go.
There we go.
No, but I would actually 2 things that I said multiple large bosses. I also want to see, because everything is always shoot the crit spot. And I'm like, I want to see a boss that's ever made up of a whole bunch of little things. Like, picture a whole bunch of drones. And then for some reason it like spreads the room, and part of your DPS phase is like trying to kill as many things as you can in a short amount of time.
Like Callus. Like Callus is the
kind of like those. Yeah, kind of like that. But like I just don't want one focal tiny point for every boss. I know it's a shooter, but I'm like, make me think a little more than point at that one dot. That's all.
If you're killing a bunch of small things, Divinity doesn't work.
Exactly.
That is true. That is true. And they've been going away. They've been,
machine gun.
Scraps.
There we go.
There we go. And I'll give Val this. Like, I like with Caretaker and Rogue, the idea of, all right, guys, in the bubble, in the well. No, this boss is moving.
He moves.
That's not going to work. And I love that about Val. Yep. So that to me is the first step of the evolution of those type of different.
But I don't want them to just do that again, though.
True.
Like, keep iterating,
No, I want it to be exactly the same.
Rogue, but it's also it's just a fat Callus like walking around.
Just
and then Buddy does wrestling moves, so he body slams.
No, they don't even change the
Callus
body.
Is getting on the ropes.
Body with Callus's head.
With Callus's there.
No.
That'd be awesome. And that's like when you break his crit points, like he's just wearing like a sumo wrestler like
loincloth.
And as you break his points, like it starts to like come undone, and then he just has a crit point.
He's trying to get Bungie demonetized.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, you just made this game mature. The raid, you have to. You're like, are you over 18 to play the raid?
I know. He's like, come to the royal baths with
cloth Callus with the chalice. Nah,
you get to be like, Callus, it looks like it's been a while since you've been to the baths. You might need to go wash up a little bit.
Need the royal baths.
All right. Well, as I think we fell off the complete deep end, that's a great place to wrap this thing up. Oh, yeah, we got to get you back because we got to revisit this one. This is way too much speculation. So we got to know post-raid, post-campaign, like week 3 or 4. I'll look through the calendar and pencil you in because we got to talk about where all this stuff landed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yo, someone in chat, go through and clip like the craziest predictions. Put together a little montage, and then we'll watch it next time I'm on.
That'll be good.
And then we'll react, and I'll be like, "Wow, that guy's an idiot." Talking about myself, like, wow. He didn't know anything.
No, I'll just do. If I could actually go through and like have predictions, but put like voice changes on and be like, which one of us you think said this?
That'd be dope.
Have Alexa read it or whatever, like type it out and have like a robot voice.
That'd
be awesome.
All right, well, we're coming up towards 2.5 hours, so we should probably wrap it up just to give Skarrow a chance to get back to his better half and let some of these people have some dinner, I'm sure, which is overdue. Yeah, exactly. I had a snack, but I'm probably gonna go have some food as well. So, Skarrow, where can everybody find you? Where's your content? What are you working on? I know a lot of it, but it's your turn to basically tell everybody where to find you.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube and Twitter at Skarrow9. Always working on, completionist stuff, low man stuff, music, hopefully more music stuff in the future. Cog, did you see the music video, by the way?
Yes, I did.
I knew you'd like that, man.
Bro, you killed it, bro.
I've been trying to break out of my comfort zone and work on maybe some more original stuff, but covers and stuff coming as well. So
nice.
yeah, hopefully, some of that sees the light of day. Hopefully, I can, the cover stuff definitely will, and I'm excited for all of it. So, yeah, just complete. We're coming up on 100K. So
nice. Salute, bro.
You want to help out? That's like my one goal. Like content creation isn't like a thing I want to do for my career. I'm always a chemist first and foremost, but I want to hit 100K before I die. I want that plaque.
Same with you, man. Same with you.
I feel you, bro.
Yeah. It's like I swear, like we gotta. Yeah, it's like we're gonna be right there. I feel so.
Yeah, race you.
Yeah. I was like, racing Lightfall.
I used to say that to CB.
Oh, dude,
and then he hit the short. So we would always like leapfrog each other, and then he hit the short game, and now he like quadrupled me. So it's like, all right, good for him, of course. That's amazing. But it's like
that's the homie.
I'm not winning anything against his channel, dude. That's a fucking fight. So, yeah, but Skarrow9 on Twitter and on YouTube. So.
No doubt, the legendary Skarrow back in the realm of the last word. A lot of fun, man. What's going on with Trav? What you got cooking, man?
Yeah, I got a previews. Yeah, I've got a preview coming up in a couple weeks of a game I'm looking at right over there that I'm going to play after this, and a review of a SpongeBob game at some point. I'll have that for you guys.
Do you get to do Atomic Heart? Can you say?
Is Atomic Heart coming out in the next month?
It's February 20th.
Yeah.
21st.
Then maybe. I haven't gotten my early February. I usually do 2 reviews a month. So
he's getting Forspoken, and he's going to love the combat and hate the dialogue.
Actually, my boss Tom Marks is already doing the Forspoken review, so I know that.
I figured he might be on that. Actually,
that's going to be a fun one for him. But yeah, I haven't gotten my assignments past the first 2 weeks of January, so we'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at TyGuyTravis if you want to. Well, most people just message me to tell me to kill myself, so I guess you could do that. And that's I write IGN reviews.
That's
guys.
The internet
that's
for you.
Get.
So yeah,
you see my DMs. So I guess if you want to do that, you can follow me on Twitter, or you can you can send physical mail to my address, which you can find at.
Are you gonna put
and other than that, you guys know where to find me. My articles on IGN.com, and we are going to be doing Bitcast this Sunday.
Okay.
Hogue is obviously not going to be there because he's still recovering and probably will be recovering for a long time, foreseeable future. So if you watch that show, it'll be a little bit different. I'm sure we'll be talking about what happened at the top of the show. But your support is obviously always appreciated, and we're wishing that guy well. That's it for me. I'll see you guys next week. Go play some Destiny.
Yeah.
Cog?
Salute to Skarrow. Yeah, man. Salute to Skarrow up in the building. That's family. You know what I mean? So yeah, got a chance to catch up. Always fun. Even when we disagree, it's hilarious. But yeah, man. Look, good to be back. Talking Destiny. I missed it. Missed y'all. Yes. This was a lot of fun. And you know me on Cognito on Twitter, LordCognito on Twitter. Iron Lord Podcast on Sunday returns this Sunday. Looking forward to talk about everything going on in the industry. And then check out Defining Duke with my man, Mr. Matty Plays. Got a couple episodes up now. That'll be fun. And yeah, man, I'm getting back in the mix. A lot of games. I'm probably trying to get that revision catalyst thing going, and a couple other things. I want to get some roles and stuff. So I'm still working, but I'm really enjoying this season. So it is fun. And
if you need help with revision, let me know. I've run that mission so many times I can do it like blindfolded.
Yeah, I might need that carry, bro.
I actually ran it with Ares, and I was trying to like go through and just because it was the first time he'd seen the exotic mission.
Oh,
and I was just like, I can either let you figure out. And it's like, and I was like, all right, so this is what you do here, and here. I just pointed everything out as I ran through it. But I was like, I've soloed that thing on Legend flawlessly. I'm like, I got it. So
I mean, we've done it. Cog and I both need to. We actually now. I don't know if this is true for you, Cog, but I ended up not finishing the mission because Cog bitched out and logged off for the night.
Oh, because the game. The game actually cheated.
Because the game glitched, and then I said, let's re-queue up, okay, like men, and then you were like, well, I'm tired.
I'm gonna give you guys like a hot tip. Like on the legend, trio is not the way to go. The bosses have
that's
way
what
too.
I heard.
Yeah.
Is it
it's-
scaling
What?
difficulty,
Solo or
like
double?
Yeah.
Yeah, the legend scaling is like the
Yeah.
campaign, like the
Yeah,
Witch Queen
campaign.
campaign. Yeah.
It like triples the amount of health or something
Yes.
per player you add. Like it
Yes.
gets
Okay.
pretty crazy. It's like Witch Queen stuff.
He's
so-
right because
that's-
shout out to Ducky. I got it done with Ducky, and I was like, "Damn, this is so much easy with 2
Oh,
players."
so you did do it. You ended up
Yeah.
doing it without me. Cool.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, 'cause,
Good.
you know.
I'm happy for you, bro.
Yeah,
Thick.
no, it was lit.
Sick, bro. Cool.
Yo,
yeah,
when
because I still haven't done it, and now I've got 2 missions in my quest log that both say do the same operation twice.
No,
so
that's a really good question. If you haven't run either catalyst.
no, I have it in my quest twice. It says
So
complete
what
the
I'm
same
wondering,
operation.
what
twice.
I'm wondering is if
You
you
can
can get
complete
all
it.
4 together
and get it in
and
one
get all
shot.
4 at the same time,
That
because
works.
I'm wondering if it'll let you do that.
Well,
I
let
mean,
me
when
do
you-
it for, let me
Well,
do it for 2.
when you scanned the exos, you scanned both of them in the same run, and it updated the quest both times.
Yes.
Yeah, so it should.
So it,
I don't
it
see
should
why
be
not.
there.
Okay.
That's cool.
It's
So
a
I-
catch-up mechanic.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
I was
so-
hoping they were going to
I
allow
guess
that. 'Cause
I'll be your guinea pig since Cog bitched out and then abandoned me.
it says
Very
one,
cool.
one person in chat said,
Ebontis, how about you? Where can people find you on your
Destiny.
YouTube channel?
one person in chat said they tried with 2. And I wondered that actually, because I was doing that with chat. They said, I think you actually have to unlock the catalyst to get like the next one. So I don't know if you can do 2 at the same time, but I was like, if you want to run, but like
I
if I'm-
got 2 quests. I'll show you the screenshot.
Okay,
Man.
yeah, I was
got
like,
it at the same time,
I'm
so I'll
just
show
I
you.
was like, oh, we can run it and try it for sure. I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm gonna start calling Cog father because of how often he abandoned me. Anyway, Ebontis, let's go.
And,
You got
and
that.
on that, and on that
Look
bombshell,
at
I'm Ebontis. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and right here on the last word, hosting these hooligans every week. And I don't know how to follow that. Skarrow's about to turn the color of red.
Yeah, he's like
he's about to match Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer's nose.
It's a little hot in here. You know,
It's getting hot in here, so take off all those clothes.
that's right. No, I'm wearing a gray shirt, so I probably got like oh, you can even see through my hoodie. Oh shit!
Are you
Oh,
sweating that
God.
bad?
Oh god!
Dude,
It's
turn
lit.
some
Oh,
air
no.
on. Open a window. I don't know, but yeah. On that note, thank you guys. Chat, you guys have been amazing. Definitely go follow Skarrow if you haven't seen his live streams. Come hang out with me. Go watch Iron Lord's podcast, and please hit the refresh button 5,000 times on all of Travis's reviews. We want him to continue again to be the top reviewer for IGN for 2023.
Yeah.
That being said, for this episode, it has been
The last
Last
word.
word.
Last word.